Welcome to the inaugural season of Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball, presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. And now it's time for your Gresham Grey Wolves pregame show.
Hello and welcome into the pregame show. I'm Nick Winstead alongside Evan Giddings. It's another beautiful day here in Corvallis as the Grey Wolves will take on the Knights for Game 2 of the two-game series. We've looking back at Game 1, a very winnable contest. A 3-2 loss at the hands of the Knights in a game in which the Grey Wolves stranded 11 runners on base, 5 of them in scoring position, and 3 of those 5 at third base. And against a team like Corvallis, Evan, you absolutely have to take advantage of those opportunities. What can be the difference today? Because we saw 11 guys on. How do you turn those into runs?
Well, it's going to be difficult against the Corvallis Knights pitching staff that not only throughout the Game 1 of this series, but really throughout the entirety of the season has been shut down, especially the back end of that bullpen led by closer Chase Kaplan, who we saw last night. So I really think that the Grey Wolves have got to understand that their opportunities are not going to come very often, even though they had runners on base in multiple scoring positions last night. That's something that's not going to be afforded to them very often, so they're going to have to take advantage early on in the ball game, and I think really look to manufacture runs. I think tonight you'll probably see a little more execution being put into play. By that I mean sacrifice bunts, possibly some more hit-and-run situations, trying to utilize speed on the base pass because that's something that the Grey Wolves do have, and I think in a series like this can't necessarily rely on just that offensive firepower.
Certainly that part, the one half of the game, the offense, the other half of the game, the pitching. You had a spectacular performance from Spud Heidemann last night. He went 7 innings, gave up just 5 hits, 3 runs, and ended up picking up a loss. In most contests, that's going to give you, at the very least, a no decision, if not a win, with a sort of offense that the Grey Wolves do have. How much pressure now is on Aaron Schaup to repeat that level of performance against a very good Knights team?
Well, I think it'll be interesting because, honestly, I'm not sure if there's a lot of pressure on him. I think the pressure itself is going to be on the offense as well as the defense behind him because Corvallis is a team that we've seen now 4 times doesn't go down on strikeouts, either looking or swinging too often. They're always going to work tough at-bats, make you earn those outs, and so I think it's going to be up to Schaup to be in the zone, which he typically has been throughout the majority of this season. Not too many inconsistencies in the pitching performances of Aaron Schaup so far this year, so I think he's going to do what he normally does, which is provide a quality start. In fact, the amount of quality starts that he have, I believe, has gone back the last 6 starts as able to go 6 innings with 3 or less earned runs. So I think it's going to be up to that defense to back him up as well as the offense to provide him a little bit of breathing room early on.
Hopefully the Grey Wolves can accomplish that because it's been a tough last 6 games. They've dropped back-to-back games twice in their last 6, and the playoffs still in play, a 2.5 games back from the Pippins of Yakima Valley, but it's going to be an uphill battle. It's a harder road to the postseason now, and how much is that weighing on the minds of these guys that they're 2.5 games back now and against a Yakima Valley squad that just doesn't seem to lose, and then you're going up against a Corvallis team which is already in the playoffs?
Well, I believe that if you ask any one of these guys, it's going to be an interesting answer because I believe if you ask any one of them, they're going to tell you it's not on their minds. But unconsciously, I don't feel that it's possible for them not to be thinking about it because currently being back 2.5 games with the Pippins with 5 left to play, you're going to need a lot of help, and you're going to have to at least win 4 of these next 5 games. Now, the advantage to them is that Yakima Valley will be playing in their last 3-game series against the Victoria Harbor Cats. Of course, first-half champs. We've seen them already, a very good ball club, and in fact, I believe has already swept the Pippins once before this year. So they're going to be able to get some help there, but it's going to be up to the Grey Wolves to determine their own destiny in terms of the playoff push.
As the starters are being announced here in Corvallis, as you mentioned, a very good Yakima squad, and we're going to have the national anthem up right here. We'll come back with baseball action in Corvallis. You're listening to Grey Wolves Live. Hello and welcome back to Corvallis, Oregon. They ended up playing two national anthems. That's why it took a little bit longer than expected. They played the British national anthem as well, God Save the Queen, as it is Austin Powers night here in Corvallis at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. And it became apparent that there were multiple verses of the national anthem for England, and not everyone knew that, and so it ended up being a much longer ceremony than anyone had anticipated. But regardless, baseball will be played here in the United States of America, and it will be Brandon Cutsforth getting the start against the Grey Wolves, making his 9th appearance on the year, a 4th start, a 1-1 record, a 4.90 ERA, as he's getting all heated up on the mound. He's thrown 22 innings, giving up 22 hits, 12 runs, 10 of which are earned, 10 walks, and 17 strikeouts with that 4.09 ERA, as I mentioned. And first up for the Grey Wolves, it'll be Ryan Smith. He's followed up by Jack Johnson, Mark Cardinale, Josh Adams, Connor Zickafoose, Drew Curtis, Will Matheson, Jordan Barkis, and Matt Cairo lining out the order for Gresham. Both teams playing in their 50th games on the year, a 24-25 record for the Grey Wolves, a 30-19 overall record for Corvallis, as Smith will dig in. It's gray pants, black tops for the Grey Wolves. It's the cream jerseys for the Knights, with maroon Knights across the front, maroon caps with the golden C for Corvallis right on the front, as Smith will dig in now. Smith went 1 for 2 last night with 2 walks, a stolen base, and a run, as he works from the right side against the right-handed hurling Cutsforth. And first pitch fastball high off the outside edge, ball 1. As first pitch is at 6:42. So getting things started just 2 minutes late. They hurried through their other pregame festivities. This one is rolled over to shortstop deep in the hole. Atwood, a long throw off the bag and safe at first base. And Smith is aboard with the infield hit. It was a play deep up shortstop for Andy Atwood. A high throw had Zach Taylor leaping off the bag, but safe at first base is Smith, as Taylor had to come off. Wasn't able to apply the tag as he whirled around trying to save the play. But it's a leadoff hit for Smith. That'll bring up Jack Johnson, the shortstop. He was 1 for 5 yesterday, and that one hit a home run in the first against Cameron Bishop. And the first will be a called strike. Slider across the zone, and that home run was just the 4th home run given up by the Knights all season long. So 25% of the home runs hit against the Knights hit by the Grey Wolves. And with the runner at first base, long look in from Cutsford. And throw over to first base has Smith diving back in. He's safe. 0-1 count. No outs in the top of the first. A sunny day here in Corvallis as the Shadows are working their way from the first base line up towards shortstop, as Cutsforth brings the ball into his glove at the chest, looks towards the plate, and the pitch will be slider, called strike 2. Going back to that exact same pitch, essentially, and back-to-back results. A strike, 0-2 count. Now Johnson has to shorten up his swing, protect, as he's reared up and ready to go. Catcher Reichenbach sets up on the outside half. A throw over to first base has Smith diving in head first safely. Zach Taylor playing first base today. Taylor Travis playing second base. Andy Atwood at shortstop. Greg Sines at third base. The infield for Corvallis. Cutsforth, brings the ball into his glove. Looks over to first base. Will go to the plate, and this one's fouled off by Johnson. Fouled up off of himself and rolling up the third base line. In the outfield for the Knights, it's Emilio Alcantar in left field, Kyle Novak in center field, and Cody Hawken in right. As Johnson will step back in. Cutsforth works from the third base side. He's got his toe on the end of the rubber, so most of his cleat really on the rubber, as opposed to some guys you see they put just the heel on the rubber, working from that side. Righties. And the throw will go over to first base yet again. Safe is Smith diving in head first. And the Grey Wolves have stolen 61 bases on the year and have been caught 18 times, and maybe trying to get something going early here, and Corvallis trying to snuff it out. As yesterday, a very low-scoring game, not a lot of production from the bats. Going to need to manufacture some, as Evan said, and this one will roll underneath the glove of Reichenbach to the backstop, and that will be a pass ball, allowing Ryan Smith to second base. And so after all those throws over, Reichenbach can't handle one of the pitches and ends up going to the backstop here and rolling right past the OSU emblazoned behind home plate, orange and black. So now in scoring position, Ryan Smith for Jack Johnson. It's a 1-2 count, no outs in the top of the first. Cutsforth leans in towards Reichenbach, comes up straight now, looks back towards second base, double takes, goes to the plate, and again, low. This time, Reichenbach slides over to his right, not just trying to glove it, uses his whole body to block and make sure it doesn't go to the backstop yet again. It's a 2-2 count. Scoreless ball game here in the top of the first. Game 2 of the 3-game series. A streaking Corvallis squad have now won 6 straight, as this one is again fouled off by Johnson. He's putting together a nice battle here. He was out in front of that pitch, but he's able to get enough of it to stay alive. As he will now step back in. All artificial turf here. Beautifully maintained. The only part of the facility that is not artificial is the mound. That's all 100% dirt. The 2-2 pitch, up and in the air on the right side. Running back is Travis, and he will square it up and watch it into his glove for out number 1. So getting underneath that one after a long at-bat is Jack Johnson. And Cutsforth comes out on top of that battle. That'll bring up Mark Cardinale, the left fielder who did not play in game 1 of the series. He's the reigning West Coast League Player of the Week and a guy that the Grey Wolves love to have back in their order. There's a lot of pop in the bat, and they'd love an extra base hit here. They only had 1 extra base hit last night, and that was the home run from Johnson. Try and get one in the gaps, use the speed of Smith at second base. The first pitch of the at-bat, fastball low, 1-0 the count on Cardinale, sporting the high black socks, white and black Nike cleats, white batting gloves, as he whips the bat around a couple of times, and now we'll do it a couple more times still, as it's a long look in from Cutsforth to Reichenbach. Now he loads behind the right shoulder. A throw will not go to second base. Bluffing the throw as diving back in head safely is Ryan Smith, as Travis had gone over to cover the bag, but not nearly in time. Just once again trying to keep Smith close to second base. Try and keep him from getting too good of a jump. It's a 1-0 count to Cardinale. The pitch, high pop-up on the left side. Glove up in front of the face of Signs, working back towards fair territory, and will make the play falling back, as he had to look right into the sun to make that play. But he sticks with it. Back-to-back pop-ups. And the 2-3 spots for the Grey Wolves. Now 2 outs. Runner in scoring position for Josh Adams, trying to make the most of an early mistake from the night. A pass ball after a leadoff single from Smith, an infield hit. Hitting from the left side, Josh Adams. 0 for 3 yesterday, drew 2 walks, as he will load behind the left shoulder after another long look in from Cutsforth. Will go to the plate. First pitch, checking his swing, called strike 1. An emphatic strike call from our home plate umpire, as Smith looks out towards Coach Barkas at third base. Coach Pena coaching first. In the on-deck circle, it's Connor Zickafoos in the hole, Drew Curtis. Adams down on the count, 0-1. He's hitting .267 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, as he watches a breaking ball miss low. 1-1 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the first, an early chance for Gresham, and we talked about it in the pregame show, Evan and I. They had 11 runners on base yesterday, 5 of them in scoring position, 3 at third base that were left aboard. So an early opportunity for Gresham. See if they can convert. The 1-1 pitch will be rocketed foul over the heads of the fans on the third base side and right out of the stadium on a line over the top of the net and over the top of the stadium and into the campus here of Oregon State. One and two count, 2 outs for Josh Adams, the right fielder. The 1-2 pitch. Down low, it'll pop away from Reichenbach momentarily. The throw back to second base will kick off of Smith sliding in. It'll go into right center field. Being waved home now is Smith. The throw at the plate will be not in time. Sliding in safely is Ryan Smith for the first run of the game. Reichenbach tried to throw back to the bag after it bounced up the first base line. Smith was caught in no man's land. He slides back in to first base. The throw hits off of him into right center field, and with his speed, Coach Bark has had no problem sending him to the plate. It was one hop to Reichenbach, and it's a 1-0 lead for Gresham. Now a 2-2 count to Adams. Nobody aboard, but a 1-0 lead for the Gray Wolves in the top of the first. The 2-2 pitch will be rolled foul down the first base line. Taylor retrieving it in foul territory. Coach Pena getting out of the way there. It'll be ruled as a throwing error, correctly so. But regardless, Ryan Smith scoring on the play. Remains a 2-2 count, 2 outs for Josh Adams, who put together a nice at-bat in order to force that crazy play. The 2-2 pitch swung on right out of the glove of Reichenbach as it took a hard hit off the lip of his glove and rolled back to the backstop. A 2-2 count. It remains as Josh Adams continues to battle here, just like Jack Johnson did. Johnson ended up popping out. He and Mark Cornelli, both outs thus far, both pop-ups. One to either side of the infield. Cutforth nods in agreement with Reichenbach. The 2-2 pitch. Again, fouled to the backstop by Adams. Seeing a lot of pitches out of Brandon Cutforth early, and that's exactly what you want in that first inning, not only to put some fatigue on the starter and get into his pitch count, but allow the guys behind you to be able to start seeing more of his stuff. Cutforth, the Treasure Valley Community College player, as this one will miss way outside. 3-2 the count as Reichenbach had to come up out of the squad, and even still, he couldn't glove it. It rolls to the backstop. Now a full count for Josh Adams. Cutforth will be transferring to Northern Colorado next year. He's from right here in Oregon, his home state, getting to play on the campus of OSU. The 3-2 pitch on its way. Pop up, third base side, running after it is Signs, and he will run out of territory as a fan makes the two-handed grab and gets a round of applause here. Now he gets a couple of handshakes and high fives from those around him, especially the couple in front of him, who he ended up extending his hands right over and catching it, so keeping them from getting a conk on the head, and he gets a souvenir even still. A twofer. It's still a full count for Adams. A long at-bat here. The payoff pitch will be rolled softly over to the right side. Taylor will glove it on the run, and covering first base in time is Cutforth to end the inning. But one run comes across for the Gray Wolves, unearned, as Ryan Smith has an infield hit, goes to second on a pass ball, and goes from second to home on the throwing error from Reichenbach. It's a 1-0 lead for your Gray Wolves as we go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Kyle Novak, Andy Atwood, and Roman Garcia as Aaron Schaup gets the start.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Welcome back to Corvallis. A 1-0 lead for Gresham over the Knights of Corvallis. As we go to the bottom of the first, it'll be Kyle Novak coming to the plate, the center fielder for the Knights. And Aaron Schaup out on the mound. The lefty drops, turns, kicks, and fires the first pitch. Fastball up and out of play on the first base side. Strike one. Novak went 1 for 4 yesterday, a ground rule double and a run. Part of back-to-back hard-hit balls off of starter Spud Heidemann in the 5th, and that was really the only inning in which Corvallis hit him well, and it just happened to be in a string of 3 straight batters, the top third. The 0-1 pitch, fastball inside, fouled off to the net. Strike 2. Quick 0-2 count on Kyle Novak, who is tied for 3rd in the batting average race in the West Coast League at .318, and currently on a 5-game hitting streak as well, as he'll take a long look at his bat before stepping back in. It's an 0-2 count, and the pitch will miss off the plate, trying to get him to chase. 1-2 the count as Schaup has to retrieve that high throw from Cairo. As Matt Cairo doing the catch today. Drew Curtis at first base, Jordan Barkis at second base, Jack Johnson at short, Connor Zickafoose at third. The 1-2 pitch, curveball outside. 2-2 the count, as Schaup will grab some dirt off from the back end of the mound, rub it between his fingers, rub it off on the brim of his cap. The black Bill Gray hat cap. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3, down goes Kyle Novak. It's the first strikeout of the appearance against the first batter faced for Schaup. Out number 1, Schaup making his 9th appearance on the year, 7th start. He's thrown 50 and a third innings, giving up 44 hits, 24 runs, 19 of which are earned, 20 walks to now 26 strikeouts, a 3.40 ERA. Andy Atwood coming to the plate, the shortstop for Corvallis. He too hits from the right side. First pitch fastball down low, called strike 1, catching the black on the outside edge. Behind Atwood, it's Roman Garcia, Zach Taylor, Andrew Reichenbach, Cody Hawkin, Greg Sines, Taylor Travis, as pitch will miss low on the outside half. 1-1 the count. And Emilio Alcantar to round out the lineup for the Knights. A 1-1 pitch on its way. Fastball driven high into the air into shallow left field. Johnson backpedaling and will glove it for out number 2, as that was hit a mile high, but didn't have much horizontal difference on it. Ended up being an easy play for Johnson. Mark Cardinale coming in from left field to back it up just in case. Cardinale in left field, Ryan Smith in center field, and Josh Adams in right. The defensive lineup today for the Grey Wolves. That'll bring up Roman Garcia, the designated hitter, as Cairo sets up inside. The pitch goes high and outside. Ball 1. Garcia hitting .281 on the year, went 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. He sees off speed, strike 1, dropping it in. Here's Schaup. Aaron Schaup, the freshman going to St. Mary's from Woodland, Washington. And getting some good innings here in the West Coast League. And curveball, strike 2. Dropped in on the outside half. You can hear the groans from the fans here in Corvallis. A beautifully placed pitch on the outside half. It's a 1-2 count. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. A 1-0 lead for Gresham. The 1-2 pitch, fastball outside. 2-2 the count on the DH Garcia. Shadows beginning to work their way up the body of Schaup out on the mound as they've progressed closer and closer towards shortstop. The 2-2 pitch down low. On the inside half, it's a full count. as he'll pick up some more dirt, rub it off the back of his cap this time before bringing the ball into his glove. Looking in at Matt Cairo, the catcher from Columbia. The payoff pitch. Fastball high into the air on the right side. That'll drop down the line, and that'll take a hop over into foul territory. Autumns gets it on one hop, and a strong throw keeps it to a single. And just right down the line, a blooper for a hit for Roman Garcia to get the first base runner for the night. That'll bring up Zach Taylor, the first baseman, announced as an Oregon State Beaver. Gets an extra round of applause here from the fans in Corvallis as he sets up in the right-handed batter's box, a slightly open stance as he waves the bat behind his head. Loads up behind the right shoulder. The pitch inside. Curveball missing on Taylor, hitting .303 on the year. He caught yesterday, so he getting to, if you're Buster Posey, a day off at first base. And fastball missing down low, 2-0 the count now after a couple of near misses. Taylor went 1 for 4 yesterday and ended up advancing to third base on a pair of wild pitches against Dakota Wendell in the 8th and ended up being thrown out on the plate on a squeeze play. And another curveball miss inside, 3-0 the count. Aaron Schaub will retrieve that one, take a trip around the mound for towing back on as he works more from the third base side. Closes off his body just slightly on the mound, looks over to first base, and will go to the plate. The 3-1-0 fastball called strike one as Zach Taylor was ready to make his way down to first base, and not so fast, my friend. It's a 3-1 count, 2 outs. Roman Garcia at first base after dropping one down the right field line. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gray Wolves. The 3-1 pitch popped up in shallow left field. Cardinale working towards it. Johnson will bail out, and Smith will come in from center field to make the grab for out number 3. As all three of those guys getting reads on it, but Smith comes in, takes over for out number 3. It's a 1-0 lead for Gresham over Corvallis after 1. We go to the top of the second. It'll be Connor Zickafoos, Drew Curtis, and Will Matheson due up. You're listening to Gray Wolves Live.
Try to double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Connor Zickafoos announced as we start off the top of the second. A 1-0 lead for the Gray Wolves, helped out by the Knights to plate that run, an error allowing Ryan Smith to go from second to home. 2 outs, and Zickafoos trying to start off the inning, the base hit as he sees first pitch strike off the outside edge. Zickafoos 1 for 4 last night. Big leg kick, fastball high off the outside edge. 1-1 the count now on the lefty hitting Zickafoos, playing third base today. He loads up. The 1-1 pitch will again go to that outside half and miss, working the outside edge against Zickafoos, not wanting to give him anything over the heart of the plate or inside for that matter. First baseman Taylor guarding the line for his first bases. This one is over the plate and fouled off by Zickafoos right off the glove. Reichenbach is now a 2-2 count to start off the second. Zickafoos with his now 100th bat progress. See if it'll just play to power the 2-2. Fastball off the outside edge. 3-2 the count. A full count now. 4-6 starts to start things off after a lengthy battle with Josh Adams. This one is driven into the air into right field. Hawkins got it squared up. 4 out one. Good swing that went from Sigafootage, but being a routine now around to start off. The second Curtis playing first base today. 1 for 4 last night. And the 3-2 loss. A game that started off Gresham taking the lead all the way into the bottom of the fifth, 1-0. Before Corvallis could get on the board. First pitch, slider strikes one. Drop, and fire the pitch. Swung on and missed strike two. And that one dropped out of the zone. 0-2 to count now on Curtis. He works from the back end of the right-handed batter's box. Foot on what would be the chop. Chained it on here as the fastball cuts across the plate, trying to get him to chase. 1-2 to count. The 1-2 pitch from Cutsford nearly hits Curtis on the inside. He turns out of the way. 2-2 the count as Andrew Reichenbach gets set up on the outside half and ends up going inside, and just barely getting out of the way is Drew. The 2-2 pitch down low, ball 3. Back-to-back full counts to start off the second. Connor Zickafoos flew out to right field. The payoff pitch, a drive into right field. Chasing in is Hawken, making the grab, extending way down to get it. At first he was just jogging in, and then he had to reach way low to kick it up off the grass to keep it from being a hit. So back-to-back flyouts to right. One a little bit more routine than the other. However, a pair of outs. That'll bring up Will Matheson. He's doing the designated hitting today. He went 0 for 3 with an RBI along with a walk. That RBI a fielder's choice, as he had to beat out a double play to potentially end the inning and, of course, not get a run on the board. He sees first pitch ball high. Matheson, the 6'6" first baseman. 1-0. Down low, 2-0. Filling the designated hitter role today, and will soon be a Stanford Cardinal. We'll come to this park a couple times. The 2-0. Called strike one, just catching the zone down on the knees of Matheson as he digs back in. Black and gray batting gloves for Will. The 2-1, fastball inside, missing. 3-1 the count. As Reichenbach tried to frame that one up, but couldn't get the call. 2 outs, a 1-0 lead for the Grey Wolves in the top of the second. The 3-1 pitch to Matheson, up and out of play on the first base side, and now that's 3 full counts in a row for the Grey Wolves in the second. However, each of the last time it's been a fly out to right. See if history repeats itself. The payoff pitch, swung on and missed. It may not be a fly out, but it is an out. It's a strikeout as Will Matheson becomes the first victim for Cutsforth, and it's a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second. It's a 1-0 lead for Gresham over Corvallis as we go to the bottom of the second. It'll be Reichenbach, Hawken, and Greg Syons due up. You're listening to Grey Wolves Live.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Bum ba da dum da da dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust. and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
Finding the right dentist.
First pitch from Schaub to Reichenbach, called strike on the outside edge. Just cutting across the zone. One and one the count after a near miss on the inside against Reichenbach, hitting 204 on the year. The catcher swung on and missed a fastball inside, blowing it by him for strike two. And strike three, looking down goes Andrew Reichenbach. That's the second strikeout of the night for Schaub. Out number one, just like in the bottom of the first out, a strikeout, this time looking. That'll bring up Cody Hawken, the right fielder for Corvallis this evening, hitting .235 on the year. And first pitch, strike one called. Dropping it in on the outside half. The lefty-righty matchup. Greg Sines on deck. Taylor Travis in the hole as this one is swung on and missed. Strike two. Hawken trying to get the bat head out there in time, but he comes up empty in a quick 0-2 count. See if he'll get a pitch to hit here, and this one will be ruled foul off the outside half. And they end up going towards the zone. Sometimes you see after a guy misses so badly, you end up putting one in the dirt. Still an option here, 1-2. Excuse me, 0-2 still, rather. The 0-2 high off the outside half. Now 1-2. As this fastball will go outside, 2-2 the count. Drop, turn, kick, and fire the 2-2 pitch. A changeup, strike three. And down goes Cody Hawken. Strikeout number 3 for Schaub. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the second. That'll bring up Greg Sines. The Grand Canyon player Greg Sines, as you hear announced by the public address announcer here in Corvallis, will be a sophomore for the Lopes. And first pitch fastball outside, 1-0 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. A 1-0 lead for Gresham over Corvallis. Battle of the 2-3 teams in the South Division of the West Coast League, as this one is fouled high into the net on the first base side. Coach Pena will retrieve that one and send it on the line over towards the Corvallis dugout. It's a 1-1 count. Fastball rocketed foul again to first base side. Strike two. Just getting there late is Sines. Long looking from Schaub to Cairo as Sines gets back in. The 1-2 pitch. Slothfully chopped up towards second base. Barkus running in on it and will make the throw, but not in time. Probably should have just ate it, tried to make the play as he had some trouble getting it out of his glove. And That will be an infield hit for Greg Signs, a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Taylor Travis. Taylor Travis goes to Mount Hood Community College, the home of the Gresham Grey Wolves. Knows a thing or two about Osland Field. The Grey Wolves will be back. A 3-game set against Bend to finish up the series. The season, rather, as this fastball will miss low. 1-0 the count. 2 outs. Runner at first base. A 1-0 lead for Gresham over the Knights. And Grey Wolves 2.5 games back of Yakima Valley. Schaup sets below the belt, dance around at first base, and this one is rocketed foul over the heads of the fans and into the campus of OSU by Travis. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 pitch, ground back up the middle and past the middle infielders, Johnson and Barkus into center field. Smith gets there quickly. It's back-to-back 2-out singles for the Knights. Signs moves to second base. Travis aboard, and that'll bring up Emilio Alcantar. The left fielder today for Corvallis comes up with a runner in scoring position, 2 outs. Alcantar hitting .200 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. He's making his 21st at bat in this situation. Does have 3 RBIs. Look back to second base, turning, going to the plate. Curveball drops out of the glove of Cairo. Ball 1 as that missed to the outside half against the left-handed hitting Emilio Alcantar. Alcantar went 0 for 3 yesterday with an RBI. Ended up being thrown out at the plate in a rundown on a fielder's choice hit into by Andy Atwood, a 6-2-5-1 fielder's choice. It's a 1-0 count as Schaup sets below the belt, looks back to second base, will kick and fire fastball. Strike 1 called on the outside edge. 1-1 the count in the lefty-lefty matchup as Schaup is now enshrouded in the shadows cast by the luxury box on the first base side here at OSU. The 1-1 pitch fought off, the fastball inside, sent foul by Alcantar right over the head of his teammates in the dugout. Harms no one, but everybody ducking out of the way as it comes over on a line. It's a 1-2 count. 2 outs, 2 runners on, a 1-0 lead for the Grey Wolves over the Knights in Game 2 of the 3-game set. Schaup looks back, turns the 1-2 changeup. Fouled off again by Alcantar. Everybody goes back to where they were. Guys moving on first contact. Signs to second base. Travis to first. A look in from Schaup to Cairo. Gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch. And that will hit Alcantar. That is now the 32nd hit batsman of the year for Gresham. And it loads the bases for the leadoff man, Kyle Novak. 2 outs and an excellent opportunity for the Knights. Novak hitting .200 with the bases loaded, .235 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. And a guy who, as I mentioned, 3rd best batting average in the West Coast League right now. On a 5-game hitting streak, has yet to have one today as he watches curveball drop in, strike 1 on the outside half as he struck out to start off the game. Schaup would love a repeat performance. Of course, he'll take an out any way he can get it. Schaup brings the ball into his glove, sets, and the 0-1. Misses low and off the outside half. 1-1 the count. Dancing around at third base is Greg Signs, trying to get into the peripheral vision of Schaup. Zikafu's playing 1 step off the grass. as it were, the differently colored turf. The 1-1 curveball, strike two. 1-2 count, 2 outs. A 1-0 lead for Gresham in peril as the Knights have the bases loaded. 2 outs here in the leadoff man at the plate. Schaub loads up. He's ready to go. Novak waiting. The 1-2. And that one will be fouled off into the net. 1-2 the count remains as the on-deck hitter, Andy Atwood, will have to go and retrieve that one. A pair of 2-out singles from Signs and Travis, followed up by a hit by pitch to Alcantar, have loaded the bases after a strikeout of Reichenbach starts it off, and a strikeout of Hawken gives it back-to-back strikeouts to start off the inning. The 1-2 pitch will be grounded to third baseman Zikafus. He will throw over to Curtis at first base to end the scoring threat. Picked it cleanly off the turf, sent it over to Curtis. No damage done. 3 left on base by the Knights as we go to the third. It'll be Jordan Barkis, Matt Cairo, and Ryan Smith coming up for Gresham. They lead the Knights of Corvallis 1-0. You're listening to Grey Wolves Live.
For your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
Welcome back to Corvallis. I'm Nick Winstead. A 1-0 lead for Gresham. As we start off the top of the third, Jordan Barkis steps in. First pitch fastball off the outside edge. Ball 1. Brandon Cutchforth, the righty, trying to repeat his performance in the top of the second. A 1-2-3 inning as he misses down low with the fastball. 2-0 the count as he got a pair of fly-outs and a strikeout after ended up watching a run come across. In the top of the first, fastball at the belt, catches the zone on the outside edge. 2-1 the count to Jordan Barkis. The pitch will be sent up into the air down the left field line. Cutting over now is Alcantar and taking a big turn, but turning back to first base is Barkis as that got in quickly from Alcantar as he just floated one up over the head of Signs, dropped it in well in front of Alcantar in left field. An opposite field knock for Jordan Barkis. That'll bring up the catcher, Matt Cairo, who played last in the second game of the series against the Elks. As he works from the middle of the right-handed batter's box. One runner on, no outs in the top of the third. A 1-0 lead for Gresham. Squares up to bunt, pulls back, fastball inside. Ball 1 as he got the bat head out of there just in time and ended up kicking off of Reichenbach's glove running up the third base line. And Cairo, being a catcher, just stood there, didn't want to get in the way, didn't want to get called for anything. It's a 1-0 count. The pitch, fastball, high again, and again trying to bunt that one was Cairo, but pulls back. 2-0 the count. In his last start, Cairo went 0 for 3 with a run scored. He was hit by a pitch, was able to make the most of it. The 2-0 squares up to bunt again, and this one will be fouled off of the catcher's gear of Reichenbach and make its way over towards the Grey Wolves dugout on the first base side. That foul ball sent over to the Knights dugout. It's a 2-1 count. The home plate umpire giving Brandon Cutchforth the go-ahead to play. Squaring up to bunt, and missing on the bunt attempt is Cairo. Strike 2. Third baseman Signs was about halfway down the line before that one was to the plate. Taylor Travis was over to cover second base, and Zach Taylor was off the bag at first, ready to come in and cover as well. A very disciplined defense in their bunt coverage are the Knights. It's a 2-2 count. No outs. The pitch to Cairo up and into the air. Foul on the right side, and that'll go right between the luxury suites and the more typical seats on the first base side, right into a stairwell. And so hopefully everybody's okay down there. Maybe they weren't expecting to be quite so close to the action on their way back from concessions. It's a 2-2 count. Quick throw over to first base, diving in head first safely is Barkis as the throw was dropped by Taylor. He didn't even bother applying the tag and still ended up popping out of the glove. Cairo loads up behind his right shoulder. The 2-2 pitch, fouled to the back screen. Remains a 2-2 count. Cairo sporting a wrist-length black sleeve on his right arm. Goes to his white and black batting gloves as he tightens up those batting gloves. He's also got an ankle protector on the front leg, his left leg. All geared up now. He digs back in. Cuts forth, sets at the chest. The 2-2 pitch. And curveball low and outside. 3-2 the count. Cairo stays off, and now a full count. Every batter in the top of the second had a full count. Of course, they went down 1-2-3. Cairo battling here after initially trying to bunt over Barkis. Now has to go with the full count pitch on its way, as this one will be roped through the left side in between Signs and Atwood. And that will be back-to-back singles for the Gray Wolves. And we go to the top of the order. Ryan Smith up now. Smith had the infield single, moved to second on a pass ball, and went from second to home on the throwing error from Reichenbach. As Cairo battled in that at-bat, initially trying to bunt him over and ends up doing it with a single. So now 2 runners on. No outs in the top of the third. A 1-0 lead for the Gray Wolves over the Knights, trying to make the most of an opportunity here. Cutchforth looks back to second base, will turn and fire to the plate. And a big swing and a miss from Ryan Smith. Strike 1 on the breaking ball. Smith sitting fastball perhaps on that one. Ends up guessing incorrectly. It's an 0-1 count. Corners are in double play depth up the middle for the Knights. They've turned 28 double plays on the year. The 0-1 will be fouled to the back screen. Strike 2. A swing and a miss, and then a foul for Smith. Has got it 0-2 quickly. Smith sporting the stirrups. Go along with his black cleats. Keeping his arms loose, swinging the bat as a long look in from Cutchforth to Reichenbach. He looks to second base. The pitch bounced about 2 feet in front of the plate, if not more. An easy take there for Smith as Reichenbach had to come up out of the squat and block it with his chest protector. Supposed to be an enticing pitch for Smith to swing at, but an easy take. 1-2 the count, 2 on, no outs. After the 8-9 hitters both get singles. All set up for the top of the order to do the damage. The 1-2 pitch, fastball away. 2-2 the count. Smith steps back in. Ryan Smith hitting .297 on the year coming into this contest. Cuts forth. Fire the 2-2 pitch. A big chopper over to third baseman. Chance to turn 2. Get 1 at second base. Not in time at first. The speed of Smith beating out that throw from Travis to Taylor. It'll be a fielder's choice as Cairo is retired. Now runners on the corners. One. That'll bring up Jack Johnson. He popped out to Travis behind second base in shallow right center field. See if the Grey Wolves elect to be aggressive on the base paths with Smith and take the double play off the table. But with a runner at third base, they might end up allowing such a thing. Not want to force a play at second and allow the run across. As a curveball down in ball one on Johnson. Bouncing around behind the plate was Reichenbach, getting up quickly and making sure that he wasn't going to allow that one to the backstop with the runner at third base. It's Jordan Barkis who led off the inning with an opposite field line drive. Peeking around the base paths, now a throw over to first base, sliding in head first safely is Smith. On a good throw over to the bag from Cutsforth, the A move, the pickoff move. A couple of different moves for pitchers. One to just get a guy over to the bag and one to actually throw him out. As we saw another throw over, and again, not in time to get Smith, as doesn't have a whole lot of time to create his lead before the throw comes over. It's a 1-0 count, a couple of throws over to first base. Now a throw to the plate, a fastball. Strike one called as that grabs the outside half on the fastball from Cutsforth. 1-1 count, one out, runners on the corners. An excellent opportunity for Gresham to increase their lead. It's a 1-0 lead now. Smith, right arm dangling at first base. The pitch will go to the outside half and fouled off by Johnson. Now a 1-2 count. One out on a fielder's choice hit into by Smith, which retired Matt Cairo. Chance for a 5-4-3 double play, but Smith too fast. The 1-2 pitch. A big chopper foul down the third base side. Remains a 1-2 count as Johnson has to battle. He battled in a 2-2 count, fouling off numerous pitches in his first at-bat and ended up popping out, getting underneath one the opposite side. Nothing compared to the battle between Brandon Cutsforth and Josh Adams, however. A lengthy at-bat to finish the top of the first. It's a 1-2 count, and they've got the runner Smith in the run down at first base, looking over towards third base now and tagged out and going to the plate now and sliding in head first safely is Barkis. Zach Taylor a little bit too pleased with himself at first base. And now they're going to say that Smith ran into Taylor and that Barkis is out. And Coach Barkis is going to go and discuss this one. So an interesting play here as Smith was going back to first base and they had him dead to rights. He ends up spinning around Taylor. Taylor looks to throw to the plate and he doesn't get there in time as he... Now a conversation between Coach Barkis and the home plate umpire trying to figure out exactly what happened there. As Barkis broke towards the plate on the rundown that was occurring between first and second. And both runners are out. I'm corrected. The run counts. Never mind. So Smith is out at first base. Run counts. He ends up being picked off. It's a 2-2 count after a miss to Johnson. A 2-0 lead. Another interesting sequence of events allowing Gresham to score as a Curveball misses down low. 3-2 the count. The first run, Gresham scored an error, a throw that hit off the leg of Smith, sliding back into second base. The 3-2 pitch, a big chopper to the left side, and past the dive of Atwood into left field, and a runner aboard for the Grey Wolves. 2 outs.
Now batting number 25, the left fielder, Mark Cardinelli.
Mark Cardinelli coming to the plate. He popped up to third baseman Signs right along the third base line. A high pop up. Signs able to play it through the sun. And curveball, strike one on Cardinelli after Johnson battled. Watching that pickoff occur, Ryan Smith in the rundown, allowing Barkas to score. Throw over to first base, sliding in time is Johnson. Reichenbach sets up on the outside half. Cutsforth goes to the plate, the 0-1 curveball. Missing low, 1-1 the count. 2 outs, a 2-0 lead now for Gresham. The 1-1 pitch. Another curveball, missing inside this time. 2-1 the count. 2 outs in the top of the third, a 2-0 lead. A couple of base running heads up plays from Gresham. A couple of mistakes from the Knights. Rare mistakes as this one is driven into right center field. Hawken and Novak will converge. Hawken takes over for out number 3. 1 run comes across as Jordan Barkas scores, and the rundown that Smith gets himself into as he gets picked off. It's a 2-0 lead for the Grey Wolves as we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Knights when we return. You're listening to Grey Wolves Live.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Welcome back. Nick Winstead with you, at least for the time being. Evan will take over for the middle innings as it is the bottom of the third. Andy Atwood coming up to the plate. He popped out to Jack Johnson in shallow left field. His first time up. Leg kick, curveball, strike one, dropping it in is Aaron Schaup with a 2-0 lead now. That swing and a miss, strike two, a fastball blown it by him on the outside half. Atwood cannot get anything on that one. The challenge fastball, the challenge one by Schaup. It's an 0-2 count. And the pitch will be bounced in on the front foot towards that front foot, I should say, of Atwood. 1-2 the count. He stays off easily. Schaup, glove up in front of the face, sets at the chest, turns, kicks, and fires the 1-2. Big chopper up the middle. Barkis will have it off of his glove and into center field. And that will be a base hit for Atwood. A hard play up the middle. And even if he had gotten it there, it would have been a very tough play to make, turning across his body and throwing to first base to try and get Atwood. So a leadoff single for Atwood, the first leadoff hitter board and the 3 opportunities thus far for the Knights. And that'll bring up the 3-hitter, Roman Garcia, who in a full count is able to float one down the right field line. He was stranded at first base in the first, and first pitch curveball inside, bouncing to the plate. Cairo blocks it, looks over at first base. Atwood had a big secondary lead, but he's walked back over to the bag. It's a 1-0 count as Schaup is waiting for Garcia out on the mound. He brings the ball into his glove, sets below the belt, working from the stretch now. The 1-0. Runner goes, and a line drive into right center field. Covering the second base was Barkis. It would have gone right to him, and now it's runners on the corners. A perfectly executed hit and run from the Knights as Barkis went over to cover second base, and that's exactly where Garcia put it. That puts up Zach Taylor. Taylor 0 for 1 today, a fly out to center field. Ryan Smith making the grab to end the first inning. An excellent opportunity for the Knights. They had a very good chance in the second. They had the bases loaded with Kyle Novak at the plate, but he ended up grounded out to Zikafus, and now they've got runners on the corners. No outs in the third as a throw will go over to first base. They get Garcia back over. It's double play depth up the middle. Setting below the belt is Schaup. The pitch. Missing low on the breaking ball. 1-0 the count. On deck, Reichenbach in the hole. Cody Hawken. Both those guys struck out to start off the second before two-out singles as another throw will go over to first base, sliding in head first. Here's Garcia, and Curtis able to stay on his feet, and that makes sure that Atwood stays at third base. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball down low. 2-0 the count on Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor hitting .313 with runners in scoring position. This will be his 33rd at-bat in that situation. Another throw over to first base. In standing up this time is Garcia. Atwood not getting very far off third base on those throws over to first. It's a 2-0 count to Zach Taylor, and runners on the corners. Atwood at third, Garcia at first, another throw over, and yet again in safely, this time a headfirst dive. The 2-0. Fastball misses off the outside half, trying to frame it up as Cairo, but was unable to get the call. Tried to glove it on the upswing and bring it back into the zone, essentially, in a big circular motion. But no dice. It's a 3-0 count. And fastball down low, ball four, a 4-pitch walk to load the bases. No outs. It's the first walk of the day for Schaup. His second free pass issued, however, as he did hit Emilio Alcantar in a 1-2 count to load the bases. And so both of those free trips end up loading the bases for the Knights. And now they've got Andrew Reichenbach at the plate. Bases loaded, no outs. Andrew Reichenbach, George Fox junior from Newburgh, Oregon. And first pitch fouled up and out of play on the third base side, strike one. With runners on the corners and no outs, not necessarily true that the Grey Wolves would have taken a pair of outs for a run, but definitely in this situation, you will trade the pair of outs for one run, even though just leading by one against a team that doesn't give up a lot of runs. You've already got two on them here through 2.5 innings of play. Fastball misses outside, bounced in. 1-1 the count on Reichenbach. Cairo making a nice play to slide over to his left. He looks over to the dugout to get the call. See what they'll do in this situation. He gets down in the squad, relays the signs out to Schaub. And bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the third. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 the count, chasing way outside was Reichenbach as that one dropped off the table. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch. Another whiff outside from Reichenbach. And that's the second strikeout of Reichenbach. And it's a big out number one for Schaub. It's his fourth strikeout of the game. And that brings up Cody Hawken. Hawken struck out in a 2-2 count. It's from the right side. A lefty-righty matchup, bases loaded, one out, double play depth for the Grey Wolves, as first pitch will miss low. 1-0 the count. A 2-0 lead for Gresham. They added on one run in the top half of this inning as Jordan Barkus scored on a rundown, fastball away. 2-0 the count. A 4-pitch walk loaded the bases to Zach Taylor after a single up the middle underneath the glove of Barkus. It ruled a hit as it was a tough play. And then a line drive through the right side on a hit and run, had runners on the corners, the 2-0. Strike one called, just grabbing the zone. And then the walk loaded him up. Garcia at second base, Taylor at first, and Atwood has been third for a while. He stays there. They'd like to keep him at third. The 2-1, swung on and missed. Curveball, strike two. Right over the top goes Cody Hawken. It's a 2-2 count. Schaub fires the 2-2. A high drive down the left field line, and this one will be foul off the top of the party deck. A little far along the left field line. Mark Cardinale chasing over into foul territory, trying to perhaps rob an out there, taken out on the foul ball. And that one. But it's just a long strike, a long foul rather, a 2-2 count it remains. A loud miss. The 2-2 pitch, curveball, drive into left center field. This one will drop between Smith and Cardinale, rolling to the wall. It's going to be cut off by Smith. He'll get the throw in, 2 runs across. The throw will be cut off. It's a 3-run double hit by Cody Hawken. And with one swing of the bat, the Knights take the lead, 3-2. After the long foul ball down the left field line, he plants this one in left center field and clears the bases. Atwood scores, Garcia scores, and Taylor scores. And just like that, the Grey Wolves are behind, 3-2. And with that hit, it appears that we have matched the hit total from yesterday. The Grey Wolves with 4 hits, and the Knights now with 6. High pop-up out of play for strike one. Greg Signs at the plate, a 3-2 lead for the Knights. As Signs at a 2-out single through the right side. No 0-1 count. Still just 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Curveball catches the zone on the inside part of the plate. Strike two. An 0-2 count. Runner at second base, Cody Hawken, after his bases clearing double, gives the Knights the lead. The 0-2 will be a foul ball, just missing down the first base line, as that one got out of reach of Drew Curtis, and very lucky that it continued to tail foul. Otherwise, that would have been a whole mess of trouble. It ends up being no problem at all, though. However, the last time a foul ball in a big at-bat, and Cody Hawken ripped the last one into left center field. The very next pitch, however, down 0-2. Greg Signs here, 1 out. Shout fires the 0-2 curveball, and that'll miss off the outside edge. 1-2 the count. A 3-2 lead taken by the Knights here in the bottom of the third, after the Grey Wolves tacked on 1 in the top half. The 1-2 pitch will be rocketed right over the heads of the Grey Wolves, wrap around the net and over to the right side of the dugout. A couple of different mascots here for the Knights. They've got Mac the Knife, a play on Mac the Knife, and the Little King. The 1-2 will be a line drive up the middle and into center field, past the dive of Barkas, being sent and now being given a stop sign is Hawken, as a strong throw in from Smith keeps him at third base. He was initially taking a big wide turn, then a stop sign thrown up at the last second for Cody Hawken, and it's a line drive right up the middle for Signs. He's 2 for 2 today. And with that, a trip out to the mound from Coach Sanderson. A bases loaded double to left center field from Cody Hawken. And now a hard hit ball up the middle from Greg Signs. A 3-2 lead for the Knights. What was initially looking a very solid appearance for Schaup. In the first, he got a strikeout, a pop out, a fly out, 1 hit in between, led of the bases. In the second with 2 outs, but got out of it. But this time, the Knights not going to let the opportunity slip by them. As Evan had mentioned, a string of quality quality starts rather, for Schaup. And this one still has the opportunity to be so. Just 3 runs allowed, and just got to get out of this inning, let his offense go back to work, put the inning behind you, and go right back to throwing strikes. And right now it's just 1 out and 2 runners on. Runners on the corners, double play depth up the middle. The lefty hitting Taylor Travis at the plate. The lefty-lefty matchup. Caro sits up on the outside half. The first pitch, a bunt right back to the mound. Underhand flip, and it's too high. And safe at the plate on the safety squeeze is Cody Hawken. A fielder's choice RBI for Taylor Travis. As Schaub got there in time, but the throw to Cairo much too high. Cairo took a big swipe down, but not in time as Hawken came sliding in for the 4th run. And with that, a couple of guys headed down to the bullpen for the Gray Wolves. Now a 4-2 lead, 2 on, 1 out. Signs moves to second base. Travis aboard as this one is popped up into center field. Smith will take over and make the grab, jogging in as Emilio Alcantar is retired for out number 2, and that'll bring up Kyle Novak. Novak was the last out of the second. He comes up with 2 outs in the 3rd. 9 batters now being sent to the plate by the Knights. 4 runs across in the inning, a bases clearing double for Cody Hawken. He comes in on the safety squeeze from Taylor Travis. Now 2 on, 2 out for Novak. 0 for 2 today. And first pitch curveball misses on the outside edge. Novak, 42 hits, 1 home run, 18 RBIs, 16 walks to 17 strikeouts, and a guy that really is the catalyst for the offense for the Knights, being asked to come up in a different sort of role. Trying to get guys across. This one is popped up onto the infield. Curtis will take over at first base. Rears over to his right and makes the grab for out number 3, but the damage is done. 4 runs come across for the Knights. The 3-run double from Cody Hawken, and he comes in to plate the 4th on the safety squeeze. I'll turn things over to Evan when we return. You're listening to Gray Wolves Live.
Try to double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
And so now the right-hander Brandon Cutsforth will be back out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. Evan Giddings alongside Nick Winstead here. I'll be joining you for the next 3 innings here in the second game of a 3-game series between the Gresham Gray Wolves and the Corvallis Knights. Now, after an explosion there in the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Knights have the lead over your Gray Wolves, currently 4-2, as left-handed batter Josh Adams will now step in. First pitch on the way, fastball high here from Cutsforth, and that's ball 1. Adams currently 0 for 1. Ground to the right side, a 3-1 put out to end the 1st inning. Although had a long at-bat, worked a full count, saw a total of 9 pitches from Cutsforth. Is now the 2nd pitch on the way. Fastball over the inside edge, called strike 1. So 4-2 here at Goss Stadium on Coleman Field. A 4-run outburst there in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now the right-hander Cutsforth from the windup pitch on the way. Changeup laced over the second baseman, just beyond the glove there of the second baseman into right field. Taylor Travis could not get to it even with a leap, and that's going to be a leadoff single here for Josh Adams and the Gresham Gray Wolves to begin their 4th. Now, as for that 4-run rally in the previous frame by Corvallis, it started off with a leadoff single from Andy Atwood. In fact, Corvallis plated 9 batters there in that inning. Atwood singled, Garcia singled, and Zach Taylor walked to load the bases with nobody out. Now, fortunately, left-hander Aaron Schaup was able to get a strikeout, as now Connor Zickafoos will come to the plate. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball outside, 1-0. Then with 1 out, Cody Hawken cleared the bases with a double out to left center field, got almost all the way to the wall. Smith was actually able to cut it off, as now it appears Connor Lambert will come out and have a quick chat with the home plate umpire here, Jim Courtney. It appears that some sort of discussion needed to be made before he crossed the lines to make the official mound visit. Now him along with the catcher Reichenbach will both head out to the mound. And now, in fact, a couple of other infielders will come in. The third baseman Science, shortstop Atwood, and the second baseman Travis all joining near the mound. And it appears that Lambert was checking on something, not exactly sure what. However, appears to be nothing doing with the starting pitching arm of Brandon Cutsforth, as Lambert will now head back to the dugout. Cutsforth preparing to toe the rubber again, and Reichenbach will get back in the squat behind home plate. So a couple interesting series of events right there, all none really having to do with any sort of switching going on the ball game. So same spot here, 1-0 count to Connor Zickafoos. The left-handed batter with a slightly open stance. Pitch on the way to him and fouled back off the screen. A big cut right there from Zickafoos, and the count is 1-1. Now, I mentioned how Cody Hawkins was able to clear the bases in the bottom of the third with a double to left center field. Ryan Smith actually held him to just a double as he was able to get over and cut it off into the gap. Didn't allow the ball to roll to the wall. That's now the 1-1 pitch on the way here. Change up in the dirt, blocked by Reichenbach, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. However, it didn't matter as Hawkins was able to come in 2 batters later. Science singled back up the box to put runners on the corners with 1 out, and then a squeeze attempt gone wrong by the Grey Wolves defense. Schaup came in and, in fact, had a play at the plate. Is now this one. Broken bat flare into shallow center field. That one's dropping. Going to get in for a base hit. Novak will come in and play that one in quickly. In fact, trying a backpick attempt at second base, but Adams in safely. So back-to-back base hits here. One of solid fashion. The other going to put the bat into pieces there as Zickafoos will have to find a new piece of lumber for his next at-bat. Nonetheless, the 6th hit for Gresham here in this ball game has runners on second and first with nobody out, and the first baseman Drew Curtis. And so the aforementioned play, the squeeze attempt off the bat of Travis, laid the bunt down directly back to the pitcher Schaup, who came in barehanded it cleanly, but then the flip to home plate, which I believe would have been in time, was a bit high, and so unfortunately the runner was able to get in. And that was Cody Hawkins scoring from third base. So that completed the 4-run rally, as now Drew Curtis takes ball 1 here low, 1-0. So a 4-2 ball game. Gresham got their runs in the third and the first innings. One of those unearned as Smith ended up coming around on an error from the catcher Andrew Reichenbach. Kind of an interesting play that I'll be able to recap for you in a second as the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball just misses outside here. 2 balls and no strikes to the first baseman Drew Curtis. So as for that interesting play that occurred back in the first inning, Smith, who reached second base after singling and advancing on a wild pitch, then a back pick attempt by the catcher, Andrew Reichenbach, went wrong. There's now the 2-0. Ground ball left side. That'll get past the diving Atwood into left field. They're going to send Adams. Picking it up is Alcantara. The throw coming into home plate, and it is not in time. In with a head-first slide is Josh Adams. And the Grey Wolves are back on the board here, down 1, now 4-3. So Curtis, first base knock in the night in RBI fashion, as the 5.5 hole in between third and shortstop has been kind tonight for the Grey Wolves. A couple of base knocks have been able to sneak through there, and another one here producing a run, bringing in Josh Adams from second base. And so it looks like that will bring now Brooke Knight to the mound, the head coach, as it appears that we should be having a pitching change because Connor Lambert came out, and I believe that would be ruled the official first visit, even though it looked like he was checking on some sort of possible minor injury that occurred to Cutsfort. But nonetheless, a pitching change will occur as Brooke Knight now makes a signal to the bullpen, and we'll have a new arm coming in. Appears to be a right-hander. We'll get the name on that when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. As the Grey Wolves have scored a run, they draw within 1 as it's 4-3 going into this quick break.
Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust. and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba-dum bum bum bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now it'll be the right-hander Tanner Howell on the bump for the Corvallis Knights, as that will close the books on Brandon Cutsforth's evening. Is able to muster a total of just 3 innings, as 3+ technically, as he was unable to get an out here in this inning. Scatters 3 runs, gives up, or 7 hits, gives up 3 runs, 2 earned runs, and ended up recording 1 strikeout, does not walk a batter. So it'll be up to Tanner Howell now coming in the ball game. On the season, as pitched in 10 ball games, 3 of them starts, has a 3.96 earned run average, or rather that was in the summer of 2015. Here in 16 is a 4.09 ERA, as the first batter he will face will be the tall and lanky Will Matheson. First pitch on the way to him is a fastball on the outside edge, called strike 1. So tonight's designated hitter for Gresham, currently 0 for 1, struck out swinging to Cutsforth back in the second inning in a full count. And now will step to the plate here with runners on second and third. 2 guys in scoring position here for the Grey Wolves and nobody out. As now the 0-1 fastball right there at the knees. Matheson knew it but couldn't pull the trigger there as the count quickly 0-2. A trio of singles here from Adams, Zikafus, and Drew Curtis have produced a run already here in this inning. 4-3 is the lead. The Grey Wolves trail the Corvallis Knights in the second game of this series. Of course, fell by 1 run last night, 3-2. Now the pitch on the way to Matheson. Soft line drive up the middle, gloved by Atwood, as Curtis will have to scamper back to the bag, and a heads-up play there to freeze on the line drive behind him, as Atwood's momentum after catching that ball, a nice snag, by the way, was able to take him to the second base bag. But a heads-up play there by Curtis to get back in time and not turn a promising inning into possibly a closed one by getting doubled back off the bag there. So Matheson able to sting that one, but right at the shortstop Atwood. That's the first out of this inning. However, still runners in scoring position here now for the second baseman, Jordan Barkis. Was able to go inside out on a base knock back in the third inning as the first pitch on the way to him. Now shows bunt, squeeze play, but it's fouled off to the right side. Zikafus was coming in hard. Barkis unable to execute right there, and the count's no balls and 1 strike. So like I mentioned, singled in his last at-bat, went the opposite way, ended up coming around to score on a pickoff attempt that ended up getting Smith out at first base. Kind of a interesting and somewhat controversial play on the part of Smith. He thought he wasn't tagged by the first baseman, as now the 0-1 pitch misses too far down and outside here, 1-1. So Smith ended up staying on the field for quite some time in that play. However, one thing that was indisputable was the fact that Barkis came across the plate to score for the second run of the ball game, at the time making it 2-0 before, of course, that 4-run rally in the bottom half of the third inning by Corvallis. And now another squeeze attempt, but this one again fouled back down off the plate. Fortunately, just kicks past the catcher. It looked like Reichenbach, if it was down off the plate and skipped into fair territory, definitely would have had a play on that one. And with Zikafus crashing hard, would have been dead in the water. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes here for Barkis. Gonna have to shorten up right here. Gonna have to get the job done. Unable to get the run in for the bunt, as now he'll slap this one back and off the screen here. Count remains as he did look frustrated with himself after that last bunt. Missed 2 in a row, unable to get him down. And the whole point of the squeeze play is just to put the ball in play. It doesn't necessarily have to be down either foul line, or at least close. It just has to be in the general vicinity of fair territory in order to allow your runner to have a chance to score. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way from Howell. Swung on and missed. Chased a fastball down there, and he is down on strikes. Barkis will go down swinging here for the second out of this inning. So after 3 singles in a row, an opportunity for Howell to come in and get out of this inning unscathed with Matt Cairo coming to the plate. And I mentioned how Curtis's RBI single was able to just sneak through the 5.5 hole in between shortstop and third base. Well, Matt Cairo in his first at-bat had a similar seeing eye single, was able to get through the same area. In fact, in similar fashion, past a diving shortstop for Corvallis in the form of Andy Atwood. And Gresham could surely use a base knock of any kind right here. As the first pitch on the way is a fastball too far inside, gloved by Reichenbach, and now gets away from him, but not far enough there for Zickafoos to advance, as it's ruled ball 1. Barkis so far this season batting .235, has made a total of 23 appearances coming into this game, so now 24. Total of 68 at-bats. Now 17 hits on the season, as well as 11 runs scored. As the 1-0 on the way to Cairo, fastball outside, and just got a glove on it, did Reichenbach, able to keep it in front. We've seen a couple of wild pitches throughout the first 2 games in this series, including a couple tonight. In fact, Ryan Smith was able to advance on one back in the first. And a pass ball as well for Reichenbach in the third. So nonetheless, Cairo, the right-handed batter, ahead in the count here, 2-0. 2 outs, runners on second and third. The pitch on the way, fastball right through the heart. Cairo shaking his head after that one, thought he might have pulled the trigger, but nonetheless will be ruled strike 1 here, 2 balls, 1 strike. Now Cairo himself has been struggling the majority of the season offensively. In fact, that was just his 7th hit in 49 at-bats. But has been playing pretty stellar defensive work as he sends a soft line drive into right field. This one's sinking, going to get in for a base hit. They're going to send Curtis and now hold him up as he'll take a long turn at third base, but will head back. However, nonetheless, an RBI single from Matt Cairo. A couple of interesting base knocks, one right through the left side. This one will drop right in between the second baseman, Taylor Travis, and the right fielder, Cody Hawken, in order to tie up this ball game, all knotted up at 4, as the Gray Wolves have plated 2 now in this inning. And so now the leadoff man, Ryan Smith, will step up. The 7th batter so far in this inning, as Hawken continuing to work from the stretch. Runners now on the corners as Cairo takes his lead. First pitch on the way to Smith. Right on the inside portion of the plate there, called for strike 1. And so good to see the Gray Wolves taking advantage of their opportunities, having the bases loaded with nobody else and able to score 2 runs. That's something that they were simply unable to cash in on last night. And even in recent games, can point to a couple of series in particular. One that pops into my mind, the Kitsap Blue Jackets, just 2 series ago. They left runners in scoring position throughout that series, and it came back to hurt them. Had a couple of 1-run losses and definitely some missed opportunities on the base paths. There's now the 0-1 on the way. Showed bunt, but did Smith, but pulls it back. Just a bluff there as it's called ball. Curveball there low. So Ryan Smith so far in this ball game, 1 for 2, a run scored, but has reached both times as he grounded into a fielder's choice in the third. Pitch on the way from Howell here, 1-1, and it is a fly ball into center field. Oncoming no-balk, playable for him right there as he will be able to make the catch and retire the side. But not before the Gray Wolves strike for 2. Josh Adams and Connor Zickafoos come in on a pair of RBI singles from Drew Curtis and Matt Cairo, as we'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning here at Goss Stadium. 2-3-4, Andy Atwood, Roman Garcia, and Zach Taylor when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. We got ourselves a tie ball game, 4-4.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pine is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now it will be the right-handed batter due up here for the Corvallis Knights. Andy Atwood, the shortstop, will step to the plate against Gresham starter Aaron Schaup. Out for his fourth inning of work. Did allow 4 runs there in the bottom of the third, but a couple of zeros put up in the first 2 innings, so he'll get another chance, another crack here at the offense for Corvallis as this fastball misses too far inside here, ball 1. Now Atwood was the one who kick-started that third inning rally of 4 runs. Singled to begin the frame as now he takes a off-speed pitch, looked like a changeup that time from Schaup, but too far inside here, 2 balls and no strikes. He, along with the man on deck and the man in the hole, Garcia and Taylor, were all able to reach base, 2 singles and a walk. As this one laced through the left side and past the diving Jack Johnson, the shortstop into left field. Curtis will play that one in, but not before Andy Atwood has collected his second base knock in as many innings to start both of the frames here in the bottom half of the fourth. So a nice job there from Atwood, and in fact I believe his single in the third also came through that 5.5 hole. Really both sides picking on the shortstop. A lot of diving plays, but coming up with a whole lot of nothing over there on the left side of the infield for both squads defensively. And so we'll see what Garcia is going to do here in this situation. Designated hitter in both nights. First pitch swing, ground ball left side. Zickafoos has it, struggles with it getting out, but now on to second base, turn to first in time. A 5-4-3 double play, and kudos to Zickafoos right there. Not having trouble at first, or I should say having trouble at first getting the ball out, but not panicking, as he was still to get the ball to second base, and a quick turn from the second baseman Jordan Barkas in time to get Garcia to complete the double play. So just like that, there's 2 outs here in the home half of the fourth after a leadoff single, and no better way to do it here as Schaup will now get back in the windup. First pitch on the way here to Taylor, a curveball low in the dirt, ball 1. Now Taylor, I mentioned in that 4-run rally, had a walk himself, was able to load the bases, and now breaks his back. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Barkas, but cannot come up with it. Squirts away from his glove into center field, so a 2-out base knock here for Taylor, as he has now reached twice in as many innings, and will give way to the catcher, where Taylor, in fact, normally plays, Andrew Reichenbach.
Now batting the catcher, number 33, Andrew Reichenbach.
And Taylor, in fact, we've seen in a couple of games behind the plate, generally gets the first game of the series as well as the third game of the series in terms of his starts. Although up in Corvallis, I believe DH'd the first game of the series and then was in the squat for the latter 2. So now Schaup in the stretch. Lefty on lefty matchup here against Reichenbach has been carving him up all day, and now this one fisted into right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Picking up is Smith. A wide turn at second base from Taylor, but will get back to the bag as the throw comes in over the second baseman, but backed up there by the pitcher, Schaup. So Andrew Reichenbach not wasting any time here. He's already found himself in a couple of 1-2 counts, struck out both times. And so on the very first pitch is able to muscle a ball in the inner half over the second baseman for his first base knock of the ball game. So you got to look at that double play, hopefully, as an inning changer right here, as Schaup has currently given up 3 singles here in this inning. Gave up a total of 4 base knocks in the last frame, led to a total of 4 runs, of course, as now it will be the right fielder Cody Hawken who cleared the bases in the third. He'll come to the plate. First pitch on the way to him, backdoor breaking ball, fouled back off the screen here, 0-1. So Hawken, 1 for 2, strikeout, and of course, the aforementioned 3 RBI double. Did also come around to the score on the squeeze play, the squeeze bunt attempt from Taylor Travis, who awaits in the hole, as now Hawken will take a ball outside here. Looked like a bender, couldn't quite catch the edge there. It counts 1-1. And so it appeared that Curtis Perrin is going to be the relay man between the dugout and the bullpen here at Goss Stadium. So probably some action going down there in the pen for Gresham, as now a changeup misses too far outside here, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the way that the field is set up here at Oregon State University on Coleman Field is that the bullpens are down both the left and the right field lines. However, the away one you can get a look at peering into the bullpen out beyond the right side of the bleachers here. As now the 2-1 on the way, off-speed pitch, and cannot get the edge. Just off the plate, says home plate umpire Tim Courtney, and the count's 3-1. Now, as for the Corvallis Knights and quite generally the Beavers bullpen, the home relieving corps, they're stationed out beyond the left field wall down there in the bullpen. So anytime any guy has to go warm up, they'll hustle on down from the dugout over to the bullpen. As this one, a soft line drive, that's going to sink in for a base hit down the right field line. Gets away from Adams, he'll have to come near the corner. Now fumbles with it, drops the ball. They're going to send the runner. Nope, now going to hold him up at third base. Reichenbach took a wide turn, but nonetheless, a run coming in for the Corvallis Knights as they break the tie here once again. The score is 5-4. So 3 singles in a row here, and of course that man, Cody Hawken, has to come up and do the damage. He now has a 4 RBI night as Reichenbach moves up to third, and Zach Taylor, the man coming in to score, representing the 5th run and go-ahead run here in this ball game. And now that will be the last pitch thrown by Aaron Schaup, as Justin Barkis has seen enough. He'll go to his pen. It appears that it is either going to be Cliff Robinson or Jeremy Smith, although it does appear to be Robinson. So we'll see some submarine action when we come back here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live, as the Corvallis Knights have taken the lead off a Cody Hawkins single. 5-4, they have the lead, and I'm Evan Giddings. Don't go anywhere.
Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now it'll be the right-hander Zach Robinson, the submarine pitcher, on the bump for the Gresham Grey Wolves. He will be replacing Aaron Schaup, whose night is done. Unable to escape the 4th here with 2 outs, allows 3 singles in a row. And Zach Taylor comes in to score to break the tie here. Is now the first pitch on the way to the right-handed batter, Greg Syens, in for a strike over the inside corner. It's now a total of 11 base knocks, not even through 4 here in the second game of a 3-game series at Goss Stadium between the Grey Wolves and the Knights. There's now the 0-1 pitch on the way. Fly ball softly down the right field line, but incoming Adams as he'll settle under it to make the catch. So Scions ends the side, but not before another run comes across. Zach Taylor scores on a Cody Hawken RBI double here to break the tie in the 4th inning. So we'll head to the 5th at Goss Stadium. Coming up for the Grey Wolves, it'll be Jack Johnson, Mark Cardinale, and Josh Adams when we return here on Gresham Grey Wolves Baseball Live. It's Corvallis 5 and Gresham 4.
Bum-ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum-ba-dum-bum, bum-bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now it'll be Cody Hawken. First pitch swinging as Jack Johnson sends a lazy fly ball out to left center field. Over is Alcantara. He'll call off Novak to make the catch here for the first out of the 5th inning. The Gresham Grey Wolves find themselves down after scoring 2 there in the top half of the 4th. The Corvallis Knights respond in the home half with a run of their own, able to re-break the tie. 5-4 is the score here, as there's one out now for the left fielder Mark Cardinale for Gresham. Tanner Howell on the bump for his second inning of work. Came back in the last frame to kind of stop the bleeding as he now delivers ball 1 up and in to Cardinale. Brandon Cutsforth unable to get out of the 3rd, allowed a couple of base knocks and was taken out before even getting an out. So in fact, Tanner Howell has been through an entire inning so far, although came in midway through that 4th inning. Is now 1-1 pitch, curveball slapped to the left side, third base line foul. It's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Cardinale, currently 0 for 2, although was robbed of a base knock in the 3rd, hit a deep fly ball to right center field, but was hawked down, and no pun intended, by Cody Hawken, the right fielder. Kind of split the gap out there in right center. Is this one a fastball upstairs, blown by Cardinale as he swings through a heater, and there's quickly 2 away here in the Gresham Grey Wolves 5th inning. So now that'll bring Josh Adams to the plate, the right fielder, currently 1 for 2. A base knock in the 4th, led off that inning with a single. And also came around to score a run. So a total of 8 hits for Gresham, 11 for Corvallis, and just 1 error committed by the Knights as this fastball up and in leans out of the way of that one, does Adams, and it's ball 1. And that run actually, or that error I should say, produced an unearned run, so technically Gresham only with 3 earned runs. Is this one a big swing and a miss there from Adams? Might have chased one a bit high that time, but definitely got his healthy hack in a hitter's count, as that'll even it up at a ball and a strike. Adams so far this season certainly has produced home run power, 2 so far, trails just Jack Johnson, who hit his 3rd home run of the season last night. Is now, this one cannot be caught by Reichenbach. Looked like it might have been a good pitch, but maybe tried to frame it a bit too hard as the ball squirted out of his glove, and so is ruled ball 2. Also Adams now with 11 RBIs on the season, has cracked the multi-digit threshold along with runs, as he has 12 of those. As this one is slapped back off the screen. Again, just missed that pitch. As Adams will lean out of the box, take a deep breath. And I haven't seen too many players throughout the WCL not only take as big a hack as Adams, but also just missed pitches by fouling them back, straight back to the screen, as now he sends a ground ball, playable there up the middle for the shortstop Atwood. He'll go to his left and fire across the diamond in time. So the Gray Wolves go 1-2-3 here in the top of the fifth, as we'll head to the home half of the inning with Taylor Travis, Emilio Alcantar, and Kyle Novak coming up when we are back here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. I'm Evan Giddings, and the Gray Wolves trail the Knights 5-4.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is at home of Gresham Gray Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Gray Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Gray Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGrayWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Gray Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGrayWolves.com. Gear up!
And so now the righty Zach Robinson back onto the bump, was able to come in and induce a flyout to end the bleeding there in the bottom of the fourth and stop Corvallis from getting any more. They collected 4 hits, but only 1 run to show for it, as they have a 5-4 lead in this one. First pitch swinging here, a high fly ball deep to right field, but playable there for Adams. He'll get back about 15 feet in front of the track and make the catch for the first out of the inning. So Taylor Travis is down as we're in the home half of the fifth here. The second game of a 3-game series at Goss Stadium. The last road trip on the season for the Gresham Gray Wolves, as they'll head home on August 5th and have a final 3-game series against the Bend Elks, who actually they just played. So an interesting bit of scheduling there down the stretch. Is now a push button attempt down the third base line. Barehanded by Zickafoos. Throw on to first base. Picked up by Curtis in time. What a play there from Connor Zickafoos coming in to rob Emilio Alcantar a base knock, and just like that, there's 2 away in the home half of the fifth.
Now batting number 12, the center fielder.
And maybe an easier play here on turf, but that one pushed right up the line. Zickafoos looked like he read it and read the hands perfectly there of Alcantar. Came in, and the ball also managed to stay low enough so Zickafoos would have a play, and all in one swift motion, able to barehanded come up and make the off-balance throw to get the speedy Alcantar. As now Nobach, the leadoff hitter, will step in and takes a first pitch strike over the outside edge. Nobach already his 4th at-bat in just 5 innings. Although it's 0 for 3 so far. Pop out, a ground out, as well as a strikeout is now the 0-1 on the way. Slider doesn't pull the trigger, but doesn't matter if this one's a called strike on the outside edge here, 0-2. So Robinson, just 4 pitches in this inning, making quick work of the Corvallis Knights. And isn't a guy that's going to blow you away with his stuff, but certainly has put away material there in terms of inducing contact. Is now the 0-2 pitch. Slider, ground ball left side. Incoming Johnson, throwing the run over to first base, and it is not in time. Nobach able to just leg that one out. In fact, the majority of the Gray Wolves defense was heading to the dugout. They thought he was out over at first base, but nonetheless a bang-bang play goes in the favor of the Corvallis Knights. The field umpire, Randy Knutz, makes the call safe there as Nobach collects his first base hit of the evening. And so we've already seen a 2-run rally occur in the 4th, as after a 2-out single from Zach Taylor, Reichenbach and Cody Hawkins followed suit with a single and double of their own, as now the first pitch is a fastball here to Andy Atwood, inside, called ball 1. So hopefully Robinson has learned from the mistakes of Schaup, who unfortunately gets tagged with all 5 runs. I believe all of them earned in this ball game. At this point, is set up for the loss. Is now the pitch on the way. Runner's on the move. Throw down to second base, and it's wide. Gets into center field, but Novak, who went over the head for a slide, unable to pick himself up in time to get to third. So fortunate, if you're a Gray Wolf there, that Novak unalertly unable to take advantage there of the inadvertent throw from the catcher, Matt Cairo. So he'll swipe a bag, and I believe, in fact, breaking the tie in terms of stolen bases. Was set up there with Alcantara at 18. Or excuse me, that was him and Atwood. So Novak picking up his 16th stolen base of the season. Is now Atwood will send a fly ball into right field. Coming on in is Adams. He'll center on 100 and make the catch. So despite a single and a stolen base, Robinson able to leave a runner in scoring position as we'll head to the 6th inning here at Goss Stadium. Connor Zickafoos, Drew Curtis, and Will Matheson when we return here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live. It's Corvallis 5 and Gresham 4.
Turn a double play with your Gresham Gray Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Gray Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Gray Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Gray Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Gray Wolves on social media. The Gray Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And so now with a left-handed batter and leadoff hitter here in the top half of the 6th inning, Connor Zickafoos taking ball 2 here as the first pitch also missed off the plate. So 2 balls and no strikes here to the third baseman for Gresham. Currently 1 for 2 as he'll come to the plate in a 5-4 ball game. Corvallis has the lead, a 1-run advantage. 4 in the hit category as they've collected 12 base knocks and just 8 so far for Gresham. As Tanner Howell again on the bump for his now 3rd inning of work as he delivers a fastball here, but just off the outside edge here, called ball 3. Zickafoos has scored a run tonight, one of the 4 for Gresham in the 4th inning. As now he takes a fastball right through the heart here, called strike 1, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, as for the offense of Gresham, they really have kind of maximized their output in terms of the amount of runners that they left on, as well as in scoring position. As now Zickafoos sends a hot shot to the right side, but backhanded by the first baseman there and flipped onto the pitcher in time. The Zach Taylor to Tanner Howell connection, a 3-1 put out there to get Zickafoos, and there's 1 away here to begin the 6th. And so like I was saying, the offensive production has been something that has been maximized on the side of Gresham. However, if you flip the page over to the Knights, they've collected a base hit in every single inning. In fact, in the 3rd and the 4th, as now Drew Curtis, the right-handed batter, will step in. The 3rd and the 4th inning, they got 4 base knocks apiece, as the first pitch is ruled the ball here low, 1-0. In addition to that, Corvallis has stranded a total of 7 base runners through just 5 frames, and 4 of those in scoring position. Is this one a hot shot? Backhand by the third baseman, Science. He'll go the long way all across the diamond in time. And a nice stretch there by the first baseman, Zach Taylor, to get the second out here in the 6th. So since coming on here, Tanner Howell has allowed a base knock. That was an RBI single by Matt Cairo, but it was kind of a flare down the right field line. So it hasn't given up any runs. And since the last couple outs there in the 4th, is now this one, first pitch swinging, is Matheson. Sends a 2-chopper right to the shortstop, Atwood. He'll go across the diamond in time. So that's 8 retired in a row. That was the point I was trying to get to here from Tanner Howell has been very effective out of the bullpen, as now we'll head to the home half of the 6th. The Gresham Gray Wolves a 1-2-3 top of the inning, and now we'll see if Robinson can match. He'll face Roman Garcia, Zach Taylor, and Andrew Reichenbach. When we come out of this break here on Gresham Gray Wolves Baseball Live, we got a 5-4 ball game. Gresham's down 1.
Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust. And all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
And so now Zach Robinson, the submarine right-hander, back on the bump. First batter he will face will be Roman Garcia as he delivers a fastball in the outside corner called strike 1. So Zach Robinson, so far so good. Did allow a single there in the 5th, but was able to work out of a jam in the 4th inning. He left a couple runners aboard there as he now fires a fastball slapped off to the right side and out of play, and quickly down on the count here. 0-2 as the DH for Corvallis, Garcia. In the 5th inning, did allow a 2-out single. Nobach swiped a base to get into scoring position. That was his 15th stolen base of the year, but no harm done as now Garcia takes a changeup low in the dirt. They're blocked by Cairo, but doesn't matter as Garcia didn't even take the bat off his shoulders here. The count 1-2 strikes. Now Garcia has been a bit of a killer of Gray Wolves, not only in this series, but going back to the last one as he sends a deep fly ball out to left center field. Giving chase is Cardinale, able to now make the catch on the run for the first out of the home half of the 6th. A nice play there made out and left by Mark Cardinale, who's been nursing a lower back injury that has actually kept him out of the lineup in a couple of the past games and series. Missed a game in Bend and then didn't play last night as he was trying to recover, but obviously filling up for it there and not allowing the injury to hamper him on that play, able to move quite well into left center field to make the play. And so now it'll be the cleanup man, Zach Taylor, will step to the plate. First pitch ball here high as the fastball misses around the letters. 1 ball, no strikes. Taylor's 1 for 2. A single, as long as a couple of runs scored, as now he's jammed. Pops this one up on the infield. Robinson over near the first base line, and he's going to make the catch. Who says pitchers aren't athletes, as he was able to get over there and scamper towards the line. Called off, in fact, the first baseman, Drew Curtis. And so the very rare F1 going to go down in the book right there, 2 away. So now it'll be Andrew Reichenbach, who's 1 for 3, does have a pair of strikeouts, and that was representing 2 of the 4 on the evening for the starting pitcher for Corvallis, Aaron Schaup. And now Robinson hoping to make quick work of him here. A big swing and a miss there and a fastball right through the outside part of the plate. I'm not really sure how Robinson able to kind of reach back and maybe go and get a couple extra miles an hour out of his back pocket, but was able to do it there. It's a submarine action. Now a fastball flipped down the left field line and fisted, and that's going to get him for a base knock. Gets away from Cardinale, who have to play the carom down to that shallow left field line. The throw coming in, but not in time as Andrew Reichenbach in with a foot first slide and a 2-out double here in the Corvallis Knights' 6th inning.
Now batting number 16, the right fielder.
So Reichenbach, after looking absolutely baffled in his first 2 at-bats, swinging earlier in the count. And maybe that's the approach that Gresham will have to look at, not only in this game, but moving forward into the 3rd game of the series tomorrow night at 7 p.m. has been moved back for fireworks night here in Corvallis. So definitely want to try and get out to the ball game, not only support your Gresham Grey Wolves, but get a chance to see a fireworks show. As now Hawkins sends a hard ground ball stabbed by Drew Curtis over at first base on the forehand, able to pick that one up, will step to the bag to retire the side. Saved a run at least as Hawkins was going for possibly his third double, and Drew Curtis taking that one away here as that will end the 6th inning. So Nick Winstead, my broadcast partner, will be taking you through the last 3 innings as we head to the 7th inning here at Goss Stadium. Jordan Barkas, Matt Cairo, and Ryan Smith when we return here. My name is Evan Giddings. It's been a pleasure as the Gresham Grey Wolves still trail 5-4.
It's a howling good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, Fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
Welcome back to Corvallis. It's Nick Winstead yet again as Evan took you through the middle innings. I'm back for the home stretch, and a great play to end the 6th made by Drew Curtis, and hopefully that invigorates the bats for the Grey Wolves going in to the 7th. It'll be Jordan Barkas leading things off. Barkas 1 for 2 today. He had an opposite field line drive in the 3rd to start off that inning, an inning in which he would come around to score on a play of contention in the rundown that eventually let him score. Ryan Smith getting caught, and Barkas some heads-up base running. First pitch fastball up from Tanner Howell. And that is ball 1. Lights are on here in Corvallis as swung on, tipped into the glove. On the high fastball, he goes right back to it, and this time Barkas can't resist. 1-1 the count. As this one is softly rolled foul on the third base side. 1-2 the count to lead off the 7th. For the Grey Wolves, it's a 5-4 lead for the Knights. And game 2, they had a 1-run victory last night, 3-2, and on top by 1 now. Long look in from Howell, kicks and fires the 1-2. A drive into right field. Working back is Hawkins at the warning track, squares it up and makes the grab. Jordan Barkas gives it a ride, but ends up going right to the warning track, and that's where it falls into the glove of Hawkins for out number 1. That'll bring up a pinch. No, excuse me, the catcher, Matt Cairo, will stay in. Fooled me momentarily, but he sticks in. He's 2 for 2 today with an RBI in his last at bat. He sees first pitch ball from Tanner Howell. In fact, he is the only Grey Wolf thus far to have a hit off of Howell, who came in with the bases loaded in the 4th. And now back-to-back pitches low to Cairo. Coming out to the West Coast League from Columbia. The 2-0 pitch. Fastball over the top, rolls all the way to the backstop as Reichenbach could not glove that one. It was just scudded in. Howell, the kick and the fire. Fastball high and inside. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Matt Cairo, who is aboard for the 3rd time today. And that is the first walk of the contest for the Gray Wolves, as Brandon Cutsforth, the starter, he didn't allow a walk, and now Tanner Howell, the only base runner he has allowed thus far, is Matt Cairo, a single and now a 4-pitch walk. That'll bring up Ryan Smith. Smith 1 for 3 today. He had an infield hit his first time up, and then a fielder's choice and a fly out. First pitch he sees, he sends on a line foul to the first base net. Strike one. A 5-4 lead for Corvallis over Gresham. And Gresham, the game they absolutely need to win, depending on what Yakima Valley does. But regardless, the mindset, win one at a time as the throw goes over to first base in time is Matt Cairo. Another throw over to first base, another head first slide, and yet again Matt Cairo is safe. Howell comes set, the pitch, swung on and missed, strike two. Get it by me, fastball went right by Ryan Smith, and that is an 0-2 count now, one out, one on. Working from the first base side of the rubber is Howell, and another throw over to first base, and safe in is Cairo. He leaned towards second base and then got back over towards first just in time. And he's got his lead yet again, unfazed by the numerous throws over. It's an 0-2 count to Ryan Smith. Another throw over, and in safely yet again is Cairo. Not playing any games here with the base runners are the Knights, making sure that you're going to stay close to that bag. Reichenbach sets up on the outside half, the 0-2. Up and out of play behind home plate. Smith stays alive. And let's take a quick look at the scores around the West Coast League. The Victoria Harbor Cats on top of the Kitsap Blue Jackets, 3-0 in the bottom of the 7th. In the top of the 8th, it's a 1-1 tie between the Falcons and the Bells in Bellingham. Wenatchee Apple Sox trailing the Walla Walla Sweets in Walla Walla 4-0 in the top of the 7th. As the 0-2 pitch is fired high off the outside half. 1-2 the count, trying to see if Cairo would go there. A pitch out of sorts, but also located to where Smith might try and go around. And to round out the out-of-town scoreboard, the Yakima Valley Pippins on top of the Cowlitz Black Bears. 3-0 as another pitch goes outside. Cairo is shuffled back to the bag as Reichenbach was ready and loaded to fire, as the pitch outside naturally has him pointing his shoulders in perfect position to fire over to Taylor. The pitch, a high pop-up, and working underneath it is signs he can't see it, and that's because it's well out of play. He had no idea where that was, and now his dugout is ribbing him. He thought that one was in play. He could not read it in the lights, and it ends up being well behind him, out of play. As he gets a couple of looks over from his dugout, and a big smile on his face. It's a 2-2 count. One out, one on. The pitch, curveball high off the outside half. 3-2 the count now for Ryan Smith. And so with that 3-0 lead over the Black Bears, the Pippins in that game in the bottom of the 5th. If they win that one and the Gray Wolves lose, it eliminates the Gray Wolves, as this one will be fouled back on the 3-2 pitch. Throw goes back over to first base, and in safely yet again is Cairo, and it's a very quick move over to first base from Howell as he whips his body around and fires over to Taylor. Numerous throws over. Another throw comes here and in safely yet again is Cairo. And on this turf, not needing to worry as much necessarily about getting your uniform dirty, but it has to be old over there at first base for Cairo. The 3-2 pitch popped up behind home plate. Unable to locate it initially is Reichenbach, and that will take a hard thump right in front of a fan who had no idea where it was coming. Another fan stood up and made sure he was underneath part of the overhang. He was sitting right next to him, and it ends up hitting right in front of his buddy, his hands over his head. He was about as protected as you could get, except for the fact that the baseball was coming right down towards him. It's still a 3-2 count. The payoff pitch, fastball low, ball 4. A long battle with maybe more throws over to first base than pitches to Smith. And it's back-to-back walks. A full count walk drawn by Ryan Smith after the 4-pitch walk drawn by Matt Cairo. And with that, there will be a conference out on the mound. The infield in. Coach Barkas calls for his base runners, Matt Cairo at second base, Ryan Smith at first to have a talk. And Tanner Howell's day is done as he will jog over towards the dugout. And he leaves with 2 runners on, 1 out in the 7th. A new man coming out from the bullpen. When we return, it'll be Jack Johnson, and out at the plate with 2 runners on, 1 out in the top of the 7th. The Grey Wolves trailing the Knights 5-4.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Turn a double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves about becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Mend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular series of the year. Just send an email to Jerry at GreshamGreyWolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gig. For more details, visit GreshamGreyWolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind the scenes access photos from all the wicked films and all on your fingertips. Gresham G Wolves on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back here to Corvallis. Instead, it's still the top of the 7th. 2 runners on, 1 out, man out. Number 30, Aaron taking over for Tanner Howell, the lefty, towing the first base side of the rubber, his heel on the rubber. This black cleats along with the cream jerseys tonight for Corvallis, maroon caps. Jack Johnson at the plate, 2 runners on, both of them field walks, and the back big setup. Not in time, sliding his head first safely as Cairo is. Now even the home fans starting to get a little bit restless with all these throws to his respective bags. All of them to Matt Cairo. He's got the assignment of making sure he slides in safely, back in standing up, either or. He takes his lead. He's only about 2 steps off the bag at second base. Now he starts inching towards third. First pitch of the at-bat. Swung on and missed right over the top. Strike one. Johnson gets fooled on the first pitch from Aaron Pope. As he eyes in towards the catcher Reichenbach, and now will step off and step right back on. Pope making his 10th appearance on the year. He has started 7 games. A 1.94 ERA compiled in 41 2/3 innings. The 0-1 pitch. And dropping it in on the outside half. Strike 2. Beautiful pitches back-to-back against Johnson, who has the unfortunate assignment of seeing this guy's best stuff right out of the gate. It's double play depth up the middle for the Knights. They've turned 28 on the year. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball inside, a high drive to left center field. Alcantara is back at the wall, and making the grab on the run will be Novak at the warning track. He cut in and makes the play in the deepest part of left center field. Jack Johnson put about everything he had into that swing, and it ends up being out number 2. Gave it a long ride for out number 2. That'll bring up Mark Cardinale. Cardinale 0 for 3 today, a pop out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Now with 2 runners on, 2 outs. Pope has given up 28 hits, 13 runs, 9 of which are earned, 9 walks to an impressive 38 strikeouts. A 4-2 record on the year. As fastball, strike 1 called on Cardinale. It's an 0-1 count. The pitch on its way. Fastball down low. 1-1 the count to Cardinale. Cardinale hitting .369 with runners on base, .417 with runners in scoring position, and .412 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. So a guy that you want at the plate in this situation. The 1-1 pitch, curveball outside, 2-1 the count. Matt Cairo at second base. Ryan Smith at first. Cairo was issued a 4-pitch walk by Tanner Howell, and Ryan Smith had to battle for his. It was a full count where he took ball 4 and headed on over to first base, and that would be the last pitch of the night for Tanner Howell. It's a 2-1 count. The pitch rolled over to third base, will be played at third by Garcia, and by Science. And he will run it over to third, tag it out, and that will be the end of the top of the 7th. The scoring threat is over for the Gray Wolves. They strand 2 after getting aboard via the free pass. Can't make the most of it. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Science, Travis, and Alcantar due up for Corvallis. On top of the Gray Wolves, 5-4.
Ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with every vehicle you purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum ba dum bum bum bum.
It's a 5-4 lead for Corvallis over Gresham as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Due up for the Knights, it's the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, and Zach Robinson still out on the mound as the throw from Matt Cairo goes awry and ends up in the left center field after it takes a hard hop past the pair of middle infielders. Greg Signs, 2 for 3 today, a pair of singles in his first 2 at-bats before flying out to right field to end the 4th, and that was the first batter faced by Robinson, so he'll get a second shot here at Zach. And the first pitch from the Submariner, fastball across the edge, strike 1 that comes up as it seems as the Submarine pitch. It starts out low and comes right up across the zone. Robinson from Clark College, a freshman from Puyallup. 1-1 the count after a miss low as evens the count. No outs here, the bottom of the 7th, and pitch inside, missing just, is now a 2-1 count. On Signs. Signs, the infielder from Grand Canyon University, as this one is up and out of play on the first base side. 2-2 the count. Just a 1-run lead for the Knights, but they're very comfortable in those 1-run games as they've had more than a couple, as this one will go way outside. 3-2 the count now to the Signs leading off the bottom of the 7th. This one is past the dive of Zikafu's fair ball down the left field line. Just getting there now is Cardinale, and it's a stand-up double for Greg Signs to start off the bottom of the 7th. Only been 3 hits against Robinson since he came in the 4th, and 2 of the 3 are doubles. And that'll bring up Taylor Travis. The second baseman today is a 1 for 3. As he had a single up the middle, he laid down that squeeze play, gave him an RBI, but not a hit on that one. And then he flew out to right field to start off the 5th. Offensively, puts another bunt down, this time the third baseline. Robinson gloves it. A throw is in time. Just beating out the speed of Travis is the strong-armed throw from Robinson. It's got some of the fans none too pleased here in Corvallis. It's a big out, number 1, but advancing on the bunt for a hit attempt is Signs. He goes to third base. That'll bring up Emilio Alcantar. 0 for 2 today. He was hit by a pitch to load the bases in the 2nd. Schaub would work out of that one as called strike 1 on the inside part of the plate, even though it popped out of the glove of Cairo and worked away behind him. Now Zikafus and Johnson have a quick talk. The infield is in with 1 out, runner at third base. Another bunt attempt, and this one will be fouled as Matt Cairo tried to glove it before it went out of into foul territory and glove both guys with it, try and get a pair of outs, but home plate umpire Jim Courtney throws up his arms. Foul ball. Heads up idea from Cairo. And that'll be now a ball outside. And the pitch from Robinson, low and outside. A ball 3. And that makes it a full count. A 3-ball, 2-strike count. Runner at third base, 1 out. The infield is in for the Gray Wolves. Robinson goes to the plate. Fastball high. And now, it is a full count. The 3-2 as this one is up and out of play. A 3-2 count remains after the foul ball out of play. Alcantar hitting in the 9 spot. Kyle Novak on deck. The 3-2 will drop off the edge on the outside. Ball 4. And that is the first walk appearance for Robinson. Just the second walk of the day issued by Gray Wolves pitchers. It puts runners on the corners, 1 out. And Kyle Novak at the plate, who was last time up, had an infield hit with 2 outs and swiped a bag. The 105th stolen base on the year. And that will send out Coach Sanderson to the mound. Have a conversation with his entire infield, and the base runners and hitter Novak will have a conversation out in front of the dugout with the 2 base coaches, all 6 guys out there. So a couple of different huddles here at Goss Stadium. Sanderson bringing the entire infield in, discussing strategy. It doesn't look like they're going to bring in a new pitcher, purely discussing what they're going to do with runners on the corner. Is a team that we've seen before be very aggressive with both their base running and with their bunt for a hit, squeeze play, any sort of realm there. It's all on the table here for Corvallis, especially with just a 1-run advantage. They might be a little bit more keen to try another play, such as the one executed by Taylor Travis to bring in Cody Hawkin in the 3rd to make it a 4-run inning. The Gray Wolves are able to match the 4 runs put up by putting 2 of their own to make it a 4-4 game. But then 1 more in the bottom of the 4th to give them the lead as a first pitch strike on Kyle Novak. Not showing bunt that time. We'll see if he changes his approach here after getting a first pitch strike. It's double play depth up the middle. Shortstop Johnson just about 2 steps off the grass. Runner goes. A drive into center field. Working underneath it is Smith. The tag and the throw will be not in time to the plate, and it's a sacrifice fly from Kyle Novak. Just about 2 steps in front of the throw was Signs, and it is now a 2-run lead for the Knights, 6-4. Curtis let it go past him on the infield. Might have been just out of his reach. Chance for the relay to try and get Signs at the plate. Smith about 3-hopped the plate, and unfortunately not in time. The run comes in. 2 outs now with Andy Atwood at the plate. Emilio Alcantar stayed at first base. He's just got about a 2-step lead off the bag. Curtis covering. Pitch down low, nicely played by Cairo to keep that from getting away from him. Runner goes, and a shot down to first base. Curtis gloves it, steps on the bag for out number 3. And a couple of really nice plays made down the line in the last 3 innings by Drew Curtis. One to end the 6th, and this one ends the 7th. As a hot shot down the first baseline, gloved and stepped on the bag to end the 7th, but not before one run comes in on the Kyle Novak sacrifice fly. The leadoff double from Signs comes back to bite Zach Robinson. It's a 6-4 advantage for Corvallis as we go to the 8th. Due up for Gresham, it'll be Josh Adams, Connor Zickafus, and Drew Curtis when we return.
Finding the right dentist for your young children can be challenging. At Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, we understand the importance of helping your child feel comfortable in the dental chair. Since 2007, Dr. Jiyoung Lee has helped many young patients in the Gresham area, and she can help your child too. Request your appointment today at GreshamPediatricDentistry.com.
It's a howlin' good time down at the Lucky Pint, where we have 30 rotating taps, happy hour all day on Sundays, fishbowl Fridays, or just come down and fill up a growler. The Lucky Pint is the home of Gresham Grey Wolves, where we honor service members with a 20% discount every Monday. Check us out on Facebook to see our latest cocktails and craft beer list, and then come in and see for yourself what all the excitement is all about. Located at 1888 Northwest Fairview Parkway in Gresham, your locally owned place for craft beer and cocktails in Gresham.
Welcome back to Corvallis. In the box now is Josh Adams. And he'll take a quick step out now before digging right back in. Adams 1 for 3 today. A single to start off the 4th, and he came in to score on. First pitch swung on right over the top. Strike 1. Beautiful pitch dropped in from Aaron Pope. Pope came in with 2 runners on in the 7th. 1 out, got a fly out and a ground out to first base. As fastball, strike 2 called. Now down after 2 pitches, down 0-2 is Josh Adams. Josh Adams, the UC Santa Barbara sophomore, calls Elk Grove, California home. Wiggle of the glove from Pope. The 0-2 pitch, and that will hit Adams on the front shoulder. Ahead in the count 0-2, and he lets a fastball get away from him. And that's a free pass to first base for Josh Adams. He'll trot down to first base now as Connor Zickafus will come into the batter's box. Not exactly how he drew up getting aboard, but he'll take it. Pope trying to shake off that last pitch. Connor Zickafus stands tall in his batting stance from the left side, waving the bat just slightly behind his head. The first pitch, fastball will miss off the outside edge. 1-0 the count. Adams has swiped 3 bags but been caught stealing 3 times. He's just about 2 steps off as he inches back towards first base. A big grounder foul on first base side as Coach Pena barehands it and whips it into the dugout of the Grey Wolves. And nice play made by Coach. Oni still got it. It's a 1-1 count. After the leadoff hit by pitch, no outs for Zickafus. The 1-1 pitch, and a slider misses outside. 2-1 the count. No outs and a 2-run deficit for Gresham after they give up 1 in the bottom of the 7th. The sacrifice fly after the leadoff double from Signs. Zickafus waiting for the pitch. A lot of time taken in between pitches from Aaron Pope. He brings the ball into his glove now out in front of his chest, working from the stretch. He kicks and fires the 2-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. The changeup gets Zikafus to go around, and he's way in front of it. Another long look in from Pope. Glove resting on his front hip as he eyes in towards Reichenbach, taking a lot of time. And yesterday, we saw Cameron Bishop really control the pace of the game. He and Chris Burkholder moving very quickly. Today, Aaron Pope coming on. He slows the game down. 2-2 the count. Josh Adams standing aboard first base. He'll take his minute lead now, and a throw over will have him back in standing up. So as soon as he got back to a normal length lead, a throw goes over to first base. Connor Zikafus, the Chapman freshman from Chino Hills, California, waiting patiently at the plate. It's a 2-2 count. And here it comes. A high pop-up. Working back is the second baseman, Travis. Doing the pop-up dance. He gloves it. 2 hands for out number 1. And that was it high into the air, making multiple circles around was Travis, but he sticks with it. And that'll be out number 1. That'll bring up Drew Curtis, who made a couple of nice plays along the first baseline defensively to end the 6th. And then the 7th, trying to pick up the team now with his bat as well, as he is 1 for 3 today, an RBI single in the 4th. A 2-run advantage for Corvallis. First pitch swinging, and that will be a fair ball down the right field line, and that'll tail towards the bullpen for the Gray Wolves, and that will be called a ground rule double. And with that, he will go to second base. Josh Adams will go to third as it glanced right in front of the right field line and then ended up tailing towards the bullpen. You can't see that area from here as it cuts away along with the grandstands, but it will be ruled a ground rule double. Now 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out for Will Matheson, the DH, who is 0 for 3 today. A strikeout, a lineout, and a ground out to shortstop as first pitch off speed misses off the outside edge. 1-0 the count for Matheson. He's swinging the bat in front of the plate, now loads behind his right shoulder. Pope controlling the pace of this game, taking his time. The 1-0 pitch. Strike 1, catch in the zone on the bottom end against the big 6'6" DH. A lanky guy, Will. He continues to keep his hands active out in front of the plate. Now he loads up, ready for the pitch. The 1-1 will be softly grounded over to second base. Coming in to score on the ground out is Josh Adams. A productive out for Will Matheson. He gets an RBI on the 4-3 put out. And also moving over on the play is Drew Curtis. Now a 6-5 lead for the Knights. The Gray Wolves taking one back to a 1-run advantage. And the tying run 90 feet from home. Jordan Barkis at the plate. Barkis 1 for 3 today in his first hit. The opposite field line drive. Got it over the head of Signs and dropped it in front of Alcantar. And then he subsequently has struck it out and flown out to right field. That flyout, he got about as much as he could. All the way at the warning track was Cody Hawkin. First pitch, curveball, dropping in, strike 1. 0-1 the count, 2 outs. In the top of the 8th, a 6-5 lead for the Knights. The 0-1 pitch to Barkis. Swung on and missed, strike 2, a fastball that Barkis couldn't catch up to. The 0-2 pitch to Barkis, fastball outside, ball one. In one-run games, the Corvallis Knights are second best in the West Coast League at 10-6, and they improved that record, of course, last night in a 3-2 victory, and it's back to a one-run margin. The Grey Wolves trying to tie it up. It's a 1-2 count. Barkis, the 8-hole hitter, at the plate. Pope sets at the chest. The pitch. Curveball inside. Taking ball two is Barkis. Curtis not dancing around too much at third base. Never want to be the third out, especially when you're in scoring position. Don't want to take the bat out of the hands. The guy at the plate. It's a 2-2 count. The pitch. Slow roller over to first base, waiting on it is Taylor. He gloves it, runs through first base for out number 3. The Grey Wolves take one back. It's back to a run advantage for the Knights as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Roman Garcia, Zach Taylor, and Andrew Reichenbach due up when we return. I'm Nick Winstead, and this is Grey Wolves Live.
If you are looking for an award-winning institution of higher education that is touching lives in many ways, look no further than Mount Hood Community College. For 50 years, MHCC has been an economic engine that brings hundreds of millions of dollars into our community, while also providing great educational services to area residents. No matter what you're interested in, MHCC has a place for you. To learn more, visit our website at mhcc.edu. Mount Hood Community College, transforming lives, building communities.
It's time to gear up. Visit the Grey Wolves team store during your next visit to Osland Field. Hats, hoodies, and shirts in different styles, colors, and logos to show your support of Gresham's team. We have a huge selection of Grey Wolves gear available online as well. Just visit GreshamGreyWolves.com to pick up your favorite gear and wear it to the next Grey Wolves game at Osland Field. That's the team store at GreshamGreyWolves.com. Gear up!
Try to double play with your Gresham Grey Wolves by becoming a marketing partner. If you or someone you know would like more information on how to become a marketing partner, contact the Grey Wolves at 503-428-5248. Again, that's 503-428-5248. Your partnership with the Grey Wolves will be a howl of a good time.
Stepping up to the plate now, it's number 10, Roman Garcia, leading things off after the Grey Wolves strand Drew Curtis at third base in the top of the 8th. They do plate one run. Josh Adams, who was hit by a pitch, comes in to score on Will Matheson's ground out to second base after the ground rule double from Drew Curtis. First pitch, fastball laced foul down the third base line. He was all over that. As Zach Robinson still in the game, and he guessed correctly on that first pitch and just missed it. Garcia 2 for 4 today. A pair of singles, a run scored, also hit into a 5-4-3 double play in the 4th, as well as a fly ball to left field, a 1-1 count, and it was in that 4th inning after the double play that the Knights took the lead, 5-4. They got 3 hits in a row, 2 singles and a double, as this one is up and out of play on the first base side. Strike 2. And that double from Cody Hawk and a little blooper down the right field line that rolled away from Adams, able to plate Zach Taylor to put them ahead 5-4. And ball down low goes right through the legs of Matt Cairo, and running over to retrieve it is Zach Taylor. He's on deck for the Knights. 6-5 lead. The pitch up and out of play yet again on the First base side takes a huge carom off the top of the suites and bouncing around, and several young fans trying to go for that. A sea of hands down there along the first base side as it took a huge hop off of the suites located on the first base side. A two-story structure just about, and nice boxes up there. Fastball up high. 3-2 the count to run it full. Only 2 full counts in Robinson's appearance, and both of them have come off of leadoff hitters. Last time up, it was Greg Sines who was able to get a double. The payoff pitch. Fastball high and inside. Ball 4, the second walk in as many innings for Robinson. Trying to stretch him out as much as possible. He came in relief of Aaron Schaup in the 4th, and a pinch runner will come into the game. Number 14, that's Matt Kelly, the switch hitting freshman from Portland. As Roman Garcia does his job as the DH today and gets aboard in a big situation, drawing a leadoff walk. He's aboard 3 of the 5 times he went up to the plate. He takes his lead about 2 steps off the bag at first base. Curtis covering. And first pitch, strike 1 called on Zach Taylor. Kelly has stolen 6 bags. Been caught 3 times. And as I was mentioning, now 105 stolen bases for the Corvallis Knights. As runner will go, throw out will be way over the head of Johnson into center field, but Smith is there to back it up. He was reading it from center field. He saw he had to come in quick, fast, and in a hurry. And it will be ruled a stolen base as Cairo skied that one. No chance for a play. One and one the count now for Zach Taylor. Runner in scoring position in the bottom of the 8th. A 1-run lead for the Knights, trying to add a little bit of cushion still. Robinson fires, and that'll just miss. 2-1 the count as we've seen Zach start to pop it over the top a little bit more as opposed to that submarine delivery. It's a 2-1 count, still no outs after Roman Garcia got aboard on the walk. He was pinch hit for by Kelly. This one's laid down the third baseline, a bunt attempt, and a throw will be off the bag. Barkis has to leap to make sure that doesn't go into right field. And a perfectly laid down bunt for a hit from Zach Taylor. And with that, runners on the corners, no outs. And stealing second base is Zach Taylor. What a heads-up play. He saw that Robinson wasn't paying attention, and he just broke for second base. And now it's 2 runners in scoring position, no outs. And Reichenbach comes up, has a pair of hits in his last 2 at-bats, a single and a double, and now the infield is brought in. First pitch fastball. Just misses off the outside. It's a belt-high fastball, but can't catch the zone. 1-0 the count. As this one's a soft chopper back to the mound, Robinson will fire over to first base in time as Matt Kelly stayed aboard third, not wanting to force a play at the plate. Out number 1, a softly hit ball off the end of the bat by Reichenbach. That'll bring up Cody Hawken, who has been the Gray Wolf killer today. 2 for 4, but had a bases clearing double in the third that put the Knights ahead 3-2 in that one. Then added one more on it to give it a 5-4 advantage for the Knights. In the very next inning, a double down the right field line, which plated Zach Taylor. Taylor's at second base, Kelly at third. First pitch, checking his swing, strike one. The 0-1 count. Trying to work out of the jam here. A leadoff walk, a stolen base, a bunt for a hit, and swiping the bag as this is ripped down the left field side. Cardinale gets there now, tagging up from third base, and no play at the plate as Matt Kelly scores with ease. It was deep into left field, and it is now a 7-5 advantage. Back to a 2-run lead as Cody Hawken comes through big again. He now has 5 RBIs on the day. Well hit ball down the left side. Out number 2 as Zach Taylor stays put at second base. Back to a 2-run advantage, 7-5. As this one is shot down the first baseline, and yet again, Curtis gloves it and runs through the bag. That is now 3 straight innings where Curtis has made a nice play at first base, but still, the 1 run comes across for the Knights. The leadoff walk to Garcia, the sacrifice fly from Hawken, has it a 7-5 lead for the Knights over the Grey Wolves as we go to the top of the 9th. It'll be Matt Cairo, Ryan Smith, and Jack Johnson due up when we return.
Pack the park at Osland Field. The Grey Wolves are hosting the Bend Elks from Friday, August 5th through Sunday, August 7th. Fans can get $5 general admission tickets or $7 reserved seats all series long for the last West Coast League regular season series of the year. Just send an email to jerry@greshamgraywolves.com to receive your Pack the Park voucher to bring to the Osland Field gate. For more details, visit greshamgraywolves.com.
Follow your Gresham Grey Wolves on social media. The Grey Wolves are active on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Gresham G Wolves. Follow your favorite West Coast League baseball team at home, on the road, and in the community. Behind-the-scenes access, photos from the ballpark, video recaps, and more, all at your fingertips. That's at Gresham G Wolves on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Bum.
A new man out onto the mound for the Knights. It's number 42, Trenton Dupree from Washington State University. He's making his 12th appearance on the year. He started 3 games. He has 3 saves in 26 innings pitched, has given up 18 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 6 walks to 21 strikeouts. He'll be facing his 100th batter here in the top of the 9th. The first one he sees, he's got a 0.35 ERA, 3-0 on the year. A tall order now being faced by the Grey Wolves, down by 2 runs against a staff that really prides itself on being so stingy, giving up runs. The second best ERA in the West Coast League at 2.60, behind only Yakima Valley, 2.52. They've given up the least hits this season, 352. And given up the fewest runs. Coming into this game, they gave up 160, now given up 165. And first pitch ball fired in to Matt Cairo. 2 for 2 with a walk today in the 9 spot. As this one is popped up into shallow right center field. A long run for the second baseman, Travis, who makes the play. Bailing out was Novak, having to go to a headfirst dive to get out of the way. Travis sticks with it and makes the play for out number 1, as it was really just a matter of who was going to call off who first. Both of them Would have been in position, but Travis reading it the whole way. He makes the grab for out number 1. That'll bring up number 13, Ryan Smith, the center fielder. 1 for 3 today, a run scored. He also drew a walk in his last time up and ended up being stranded at first. As ball 1 goes outside. The catcher, Reichenbach, looking over towards his dugout on the third base side, getting the signs. He relays them out to Dupree. Dupree fires fastball way over the head of Reichenbach. I don't think that was the call. 2-0 the count. Reminiscent of the movie Major League, Wild Thing, played by Charlie Sheen. The 2-0. And he locates this one right down the middle. 2-1 the count on the called strike. Smith was taking that one after that wild miss. It's right down the middle. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball just a little bit high off the outside edge. 3-1 the count now. And Dupree will take a quick step off. He works from the third base side of the rubber. Black cleats, black glove as he drops, turns, kicks, and fires the 3-1 pitch, and that will be sent into the back screen on the foul by Smith. One out in the top of the ninth. The Grey Wolves need 2 to tie. It's a 7-5 advantage for the Knights. And up and out of play on the first base side. As Smith battles, it was in a full count that he drew his walk in the 7th. He is more than willing to get another walk here. Matt Cairo popped out into right center field to start off the inning. The 3-2 pitch, once again fought off by Trenton Dupree. Aaron Pope finishes his day going 1 2/3 innings, gives up 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, no walks, no strikeouts, and 7 batters faced. The payoff pitch will be down the left field side and bouncing in front of Alcantar, rolling to the wall and chugging for 2 now is Smith. The throw will force Travis off the bag, sliding in for a 1-out double is Ryan Smith, just his 2nd hit of the day. And he puts it on the left side, and a long run for Alcantar, playing more towards left center field than the line, and it's a double. And that'll bring up Jack Johnson. Johnson 1 for 4 today. A couple of well-hit fly balls, a pop-out and a single for him on the evening. Has gone from a warm day into a very nice evening here in Corvallis. 75 degrees. Not too shabby. The first pitch to Johnson will be fouled up the first baseline. Strike 1 is just getting a piece of that off-speed pitch from Dupree. Trenton Dupree, the junior at Washington State from Yakima, Washington. The lefty, ball behind his back, glove resting on his front hip. Eyes in towards Reichenbach. Ryan Smith with a marginal lead at second base. He sets at the chest, the 0-1. Curveball inside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. The Grey Wolves and Knights will do battle again tomorrow, wrapping up the 3-game series. A 7:05 first pitch on Thursday. We're heading back to Osland Field to wrap up the season against the Bend Elks, and fastball away. 2-1 the count. Sliding over to his right as Reichenbach is trying to get Johnson to chase, or perhaps just a miss. Either way, it's ball 2. Dupree brings the ball into his glove, kicks and fires. He pitched down low, 3-1 the count. And Johnson being very patient after he fouled off the first one. 3-1 the count. Missing is Dupree after a one-out double from Smith. The 3-1 pitch tapped into the glove of Reichenbach on the high pitch, and now it's a full count. Back-to-back full counts drawn by the 1-2 hitters of the Gray Wolves. Smith turned his into a double. Johnson trying to make something similar happen here. The Gray Wolves down by 2, 7-5 in the top of the 9th against the Corvallis Knights. As Johnson takes a big swing outside the box, is redirected back into the box by Jim Courtney. Corvallis riding a 6-game winning streak, trying to make it 7. The payoff pitch swung on, and that'll be fouled. Just getting a piece of it. It's a full count for Jack Johnson. 1 out, runner in scoring position. And fastball down low, ball 4. And now the tying run is aboard. The go-ahead run at the plate, and Mark Cardinale.
Now batting number 25, left fielder Mark Cardinale.
Cardinale has 20 runs driven in on the year, the RBI leader for the Gray Wolves. He is 0 for 4 today, due for a hit. He's got 2 runners on, both guys with good speed. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. Dupree just gave up his 7th walk of the year. 21 strikeouts, now a 7. As this one is up and out of play on Cardinale. 1-1 the count. 7 balls, 21 strikeouts. Has not hit a batter yet. Opposing batters hitting .202 against him. He has balked twice. He and Tanner Howell have both balked twice. 5 total balks for the staff of the Knights. And a back pick trying to be set up, sliding back in headfirst safely as Ryan Smith Travis applying the tag, but not in time. It's a 1-1 count. As this one is popped up high into the air behind second base. Travis calls off everybody. He gloves it with 2 hands. Out number 2. Both outs in the 9th have been gloved by Travis. And now the Gray Wolves down to their last out. Josh Adams coming to the plate. Adams 1 for 3 today. He scored a pair of runs after he was hit by a pitch to start off the 8th. He brought it back to a 1-run game before the Knights responded with a run of their own in the bottom half. The lefty Adams digs in. 2 runners on, 2 outs in the top of the 9th, and a 2-run lead for Corvallis. Dupree sets at the chest, looks back at Smith at second base, kicks and fires. First pitch, fastball off the plate, ball 1. And for Adams, he's had 2 home runs on the year, driven in 11. He's looking for an extra base hit here. He's hit 3 doubles, no triples thus far. Trying to get something going here. The 1-0. Fastball high. Ball 2. And very much like Aaron Pope, Dupree taking his time in between pitches. A 2-0 count. Josh Adams will step back in, takes a long look at his bat, takes a deep breath, and digs into the lefty's batter's box. The 2-0. Fastball. Low off the outside half. 3-0. And now Josh Adams firmly in the driver's seat of this at bat. We'll see if he gets the green light on a 3-0 pitch. Ryan Smith at second base. Jack Johnson at first. Both guys with very good speed. Center fielder Novak playing towards right center with the lefty at the plate. The 3-0, fastball, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to load the bases in the top of the 9th, the second walk of the inning. Just the 8th walk of the year. Coming into this contest, Dupree only had 6. Now he's added 2 more on, as it looks like Coach Knight will go out and have a conversation on the mound. Bases loaded for Connor Zickafoos. Ryan Smith at third base. Jack Johnson at second. And Josh Adams at first. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Zickafoos is due up after this conversation out on the mound. Just the catcher, the pitcher, and the coach out there discussing things. 2 middle infielders chatting it up with Jack Johnson out at second base. Coach Barkas strolling back towards third base with Ryan Smith, the home plate umpire. Jim Courtney jogs out to the mound and breaks up that conference on the mound as Connor Zickafoos having a lot of time to think about things. Not necessarily what you want a batter to be doing. Just try and keep that same plate discipline regardless of situation. That same approach, and the first pitch to Zickafoos is a changeup. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. Bases loaded for the Gray Wolves, trailing by 2. It's a 1-0 count to Zickafoos. 5 straight balls fired in by Dupree. Fastball upstairs, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Again, can't see if there's any activity for Corvallis as their bullpen is behind the left field wall. It's a 2-0 count. 6 straight misses for Dupree. Zickafoos standing tall. Fastball inside, ball 3. And the last 2 not close. High off the zone. First outside and now inside. Bases loaded as Ryan Smith started off with a 1-out double. Jack Johnson drew a walk. Mark Cannelli popped up. And Adams walked to load the bases. High, ball 4, leaping up to make sure that one doesn't run to the backstop is Reichenbach. Ryan Smith trots in from third base. It's a 1-run game. Back-to-back 4-pitch walks issued by Dupree, his 3rd walk of the inning. Came in with 6, now has 9. Josh Adams goes to second base. Zickafoos at first. Drew Curtis at the plate. Just a 1-run lead now for Corvallis, 7-6. Drew Curtis had a ground rule double in his last at bat. Was able to drop it down the right field line. And the first pitch, fastball. Ball 1. And that is a near miss, and the fans here in Corvallis are getting restless. Jim Courtney making Dupree earn these strikes, nothing being given to him. A 1-0 count, 9 straight balls. And strike one fired in from Dupree on the fastball, evens the count at 1. Bases loaded for the Gray Wolves, down by 1 in the top of the 9th, 7-6. And a perfectly framed pitch by Andrew Reichenbach on the outside half, and he wins that strike for Dupree. Maybe a 50-50 ball, but now the Gray Wolves down to their last strike of the night. Bases loaded, a 1-2 count. Curtis can't afford to watch one in. He works from the back end of the right-handed batter's box, loads behind the right shoulder. The 1-2 pitch, a drive into center field. Novak working over towards it, and he gloves it for out number 3. The Gray Wolves leave the bases loaded in the top of the 9th. They score 1, but that's not enough. A 7-6 victory for the Knights. They take back-to-back 1-run wins over the Gray Wolves. Last night it was 3-2. Tonight a high-scoring affair, 7-6, but the result is the same, a loss for Gresham. We'll take a quick break, and Evan will come back. We'll have a post-game recap of what occurred here tonight in Corvallis. We'll be right back.
Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. You are in a quest full of danger and excitement. Your path clouded by deception and dead ends that could cost you dearly. You have to fight off dangerous snakes and vicious jackals, savage headhunters and shark-infested waters. You don't know who to trust, and all you want is to buy a new car. I'm Bess Wills at Gresham Ford, and getting the car or truck you need doesn't have to be a dangerous adventure of epic proportions. At Gresham Ford, you won't find any snakes, weasels, or other predators, and you don't have to worry if you are going to get pillaged. All dealers pay the same for the cars they sell. We just help you get the new or used vehicle you need without all the drama. If you want an adventure full of shady characters, crooked deals, and nasty vermin, go to the movies. If you want to get the best built cars and trucks in America, come to Gresham Ford. We'll all donate $100 to the church or charity of your choice with your purchase at Gresham Ford. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum.
Finding the Welcome to the Gresham Gray Wolves post-game show. Presented by Active Family Chiropractic, Edward Jones, Gresham Ford, Gresham Pediatric Dentistry, the Gresham Police Officers Association, Lucky Pint, Metro East Web Academy, Northwest Accounting Partners, Olympic Gym, Riverview Community Bank, and State Farm. And now, here's your Gresham Gray Wolves post-game show.
Hello and welcome back to Corvallis. A heartbreaking loss, yet again an excellent opportunity at the end of the game for the Gray Wolves to tie it up. They get one run on the RBI walk from Connor Zickafoos, but a drive out to center field grabbed out of the air by Kyle Novak to leave the bases loaded and to hand the Gray Wolves their third straight loss. A disappointing day and really another competitive game here, Evan, but unfortunately the Gray Wolves end up on the wrong side of the score.
Yeah, it unfortunately just seems like that's the way the tail end of the season has been going, and now being back with what looks like 3.5 games, of course, the Yakima Valley Pippins going to try and wrap up a sweep against the Cowlicks Black Bears. I mean, they really need a lot of help. Obviously have to mathematically win out to get into the playoffs, and it's just unfortunate with the season likely coming to an end in this ball game right here, that it should come in this fashion with it being so close yet again. It just seems like in these past 3 series, not only with this one, but against Bend, the game 3, you're going to point to that one as a loss that they probably should have won, and then 2 losses against Kitsap. It's just a shame that it's got to come down to this at the end of the season.
Absolutely. Excellent opportunities constantly for the Grey Wolves, but not all hope is lost as we take a look at the West Coast League scoreboard. The Cowlitz Black Bears on top of the Yakima Valley Pippins 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th, so some hope still alive, but again, it's going to be an uphill battle, basically needing to win out. And coming in here tomorrow, Corvallis is going to be going for the sweep as well as their 7th straight win. How do you drop these last 2 close games and just try and come into this one fresh, knowing that there's so much pressure on you?
Well, at the very least, they do have the victory from Cowlitz coming, because actually they took that lead late. I was checking in the 6th inning as it's now in the 8th, and Cowlitz was down 3-1. So a good sign there, and at least a little bit of hope for the Grey Wolves moving forward. But coming in, I mean, you just got to be able to put the games behind you, and that's obviously easier said than done, but really must be done in order for the Grey Wolves to have a chance to come back and get a victory, because in these 2 ball games, they've been in it. They lost 3-2, now 7-6, and although they haven't played their best baseball, they still gave themselves a chance to win at the end of the ball game, but unfortunately could not come through. So I think that really it's going to be up to them to go home tonight, look themselves in the mirror, and ask themselves if they still want to compete and give themselves a chance to make the West Coast League playoffs.
And it's going to come at 7:05 tomorrow, the first pitch here at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. Thanks so much for listening to this broadcast of Grey Wolves Baseball. I'm Nick Winstead for Evan Giddings. We will see you tomorrow night.